and he was like, maybe we'll both change our names. Like we discussed what other names we could actually change both of our names
We
to.
had that. We had a debate like that.
Yeah, my best friend, they changed their last name to Magnum.
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
I love
a power
it.
move.
We were thinking of a name from Babylon 5, actually. We were
Of
leaning
course
towards
you were.
Molari.
Of course you were.
All right. I think we are live again, and then all that needs to happen now is we need to just make sure the audience decides to follow us.
All right, so we've got a new link.
Is it a new link? How does that work?
Or-
Isn't it just...
It should... Boy, well, technically the audio live stream never died, so if you were listening on audio, they're still there.
Got all this
Hi.
like great information.
Let me just see how this looks over here. Okay, looks like we've picked up... Some people have made the jump. Where's this deal?
Do they just have to reload the page, basically, if they're at totalpartykill.live?
Oh, I need to... You know what? Oh, boy. This is what caused problem when Jason did this. Is... Wait. What? Oh, God. I need to end the old stream. That was the key. Because that will fix it. I came on at one point and Jason had left the old stream running for like hours. And it was like, no, that's no good. Let me just see. Make sure this is still working. Ugh. This could be better, YouTube. Just if you're listening, this could be better.
Sorry, Darren.
Thank you.
Whoa.
Like and subscribe.
Ring the bell for notifications.
I'm creeped out by YouTube. All right.
Forget about it. Tony Cinderella, the Dungeon Master of 3 voices.
But all 3 are great.
Okay.
2 more than I have.
I'm gonna say let's say 2.5 of them.
All right. So we are live. What I don't... Oh, yeah, I can pick up a URL from over here. Probably. That's usually how this works. There are some people who have made the jump. We only have 3 so
Okay.
far.
Is it?
I'm trying to find the... It's just harder to get on the... I was on my iPad, and it's harder to get off that. Boop, doop, boop, doop, boop, boop. I need a better computer.
Don't we all?
Mm-hmm.
Always and forever. Okay. There is a new URL. I'm pasting it in the Roll20 chat because that's literally the only place I can go that won't disrupt something else on the stream. But it looks like people are slowly filtering back in.
Okay.
Apologies for all of that, but it yeah.
All right.
Technical difficulties.
Everything's great. Should we try this again?
Yes.
How much time do we think that was? 10 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, we could probably figure it out, but that sounds about 5 to 10
Yeah.
minutes, somewhere in there.
Okay, so I'm gonna say 1:27
Yeah.
p.m.
For
Our
end.
time will be about my time will be about an hour for the episode.
All right. All right, so all of you have rolled initiative. Our winged creatures, one of them somewhat angelic looking, 3 of them very fiery looking, have rolled initiative as well. The order is Chomasa, Lee, Reed Quarrel, Thamia, the solitary damaged winged creature, Hugh, Waris, Avard, and bringing up the rear, the 3 flappy fire creatures. Chomasa, you are first.
Okay, so these winged creatures are like in the air too far for my short sword, I'm assuming.
They're actually they're kind of, it seems like they're trying to harass this they're pursuing and fighting this this winged creature that's badly injured. I need to come up with better words than winged creatures. There is a winged creature fighting a winged creature, people. Who's on first? And that creature, so the somewhat angelic looking creature is badly injured and not flying. So they're flapping around at that creature. So I would say that they're fair game for somebody on the ground with a short sword.
Okay, then I am like running up right beside this winged creature, and
All
I'm
right.
going to wing one of my not wing. Swipe.
I've gotten to your head.
I'm gonna yes.
Everything.
I'm gonna swipe one of those winged creatures with one of my short swords.
Mm-hmm.
And I rolled a 6.
All right, the creature kind of bats out of the direction and like looks at you with fiery eyes and goes.
It's Salacious Crumb.
He makes the fiery creature makes a rude gesture with his fiery little arms.
Whoa! I make a rude gesture back.
All right.
And I get out my other short sword and I roll a 10. With much enthusiasm.
Do you get to add anything to that?
That was adding things to it.
Oh.
I might need some new dice.
Oh my gosh, Chomasa is just figuring out the low end of the armor class for us so that we know our goals.
Better than a 10.
Yeah, that's good. Don't want to use those good rolls right away. I get it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Lee, you're next up.
Okay, so Lee, I'm gonna run to the grounded winged creature and try to. I think I'm gonna try to help it walk, like try to put an arm under it and get it out of the way until we can figure out what's happening. Okay. Do you want to? I'll just so you've run down the kind of the main street of White Sparrow here. There's the kind of known safety of the tavern, which you could walk it back toward, but there are also probably some shops and homes that might be a little bit closer that the creature is right in front of. So
I think I want to duck into the nearest.
All right, there's a pottery shop next door. So if you want, you and the winged creature the winged creature kind of stumbles, leaning against you, and you make it to the porch of the pottery shop.
Okay. Say, watch those.
We'll say you make it
inside.
Just inside.
You break it, you bought it.
All right. The creature is leaning on you heavily, and it seems to be kind of breathing strangely, but it pats your arm and says, "Thank you." Aww. All right, Reed Quarrel, our gothy friend, you are next.
All right. I think I'm going to I'm not going to move any closer to the situation. Just want to get a clear sight line on one of those winged creatures, probably like whichever one is the farthest away, and stand there intimidatingly, and you see her inside the cloak comes out my hand holding my holy symbol, which is scales of justice held up in the middle with a skeletal hand.
Your hand holding a hand is what
it is. My hand is holding the skeletal hand, which is holding
I love it.
Got it. And on each of those scales, another hand.
It's hands all the way down. So I'd hold it out and say to my god, and pointing at the one that's farthest away, today.
In Kelemdor's name. Oh, yeah.
No, wrong character.
Yeah.
Today is your day.
All right. So there are 3 creatures that you're pointing at. One of them or all of them?
Just one. The one that's the farthest away.
All right. I'm going to say that's this one back here. Okay. So does that creature have to roll something?
It does not. I get to roll an attack, which is not as impressive. We are trying to find the armor class from the bottom up.
Yep.
So how does 13 look?
13 hits. So
you're
so
welcome.
the strange fiery little creature looks at you with skeptical eyes and
takes, let's see, 7 points of necrotic damage.
All right, that is not good for it. As a little skeleton hand taps it on the shoulder.
Yeah, is it? Let's see. Just want to make sure. Chill touch. Is it undead?
It is not.
Okay, then nothing extra happens to it. But I will point out that it has taken that necrotic damage. It cannot regain hit points until the start of my next turn, and until then, the hand clings to the target. So it's a little bit disturbing to see this hand. This particular hand is not a skeletal hand. This hand appeared in the square of the little flappy creature, grabbed onto it, did some damage and is just hanging on.
Just to clarify, this is
all the way down.
Third hand, right? There's your hand.
My hand.
There's the hand holding the scales of justice.
Yep.
And then there's the spectral hand that you've summoned.
Yes, it is
Three hands.
My chill touch hand.
All right. Yeah, got it. Very chill.
Super
all
chill.
right. Thamia, the Goliath warrior, newly tattooed, you are the next out the door of the tavern, taking in this scene of carnage ahead of you.
All right. Well, Chomasa has one of them, so I am going to take care of the other. Well, Chomasa was trying to take care of it. Yes.
You engaged it.
Yes. So I'm going after this one here. 24, does that hit?
Oh yeah, you cleave it. It kind of tries to like flap out of the way, and you just hack at it like it's a. I don't have a good metaphor. What is it? It's a I was gonna do a sports metaphor, and I don't know the name.
Flying potato.
I imagine it was like it's like a shuttlecock, and you're playing badminton. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
there
right.
we go. Sorry.
Yep.
Sports terms. Always quick to my brain.
5, 6, 7, 8 points of damage.
All right, you swat at it, and this is okay. It's this one. Sorry, there's 3 of them here.
Yeah.
So one of them, Reed Coral has damage. One of them, Thamia has damage, and one of them is engaged with Chomasa. So, all right.
And then I will take my hand axe and also attack. 5, 12.
12 hits.
Okay. Cool. We're going to, with my D6, roll damage. 5, 6, 7, 8 points of damage.
All right, it is not looking good for this little fiery imp. All right, the angelic creature currently accompanied by Lee is in the pottery shop, and it's not looking good. It's kind of like resting against a shelf of glazed pottery and just holding its side. Lee, you can see that there's like several wounds in this creature's torso that are, I mean, the word bleeding suggests blood, but the substance oozing out of this creature does not seem to have any of the properties you would normally associate with blood. It's silver and kind of shiny and kind of a lot stickier than blood. Q Waris, you are next, the last out of the Evershady Tavern.
Q is holding his drink still in one hand. He strolls up here and says, "Don't worry, I have just the thing." He flourishes his new deck of cards, draws the first one on the top, and tosses it.
While holding a drink?
Yeah. He's very
okay.
You want me to roll sleight of hand? What's your problem here?
Yeah. Roll sleight of hand. I don't know. Everyone can relax. QRS has arrived.
Wow.
All right. 21. You have no trouble. I was just like, how do you draw a card from a deck one-handed? The answer is like he just
with your
did.
Teeth.
Yeah.
Throw the drink up in the air. Throw a card.
Yes.
Catch the drink. That's how it works.
What nonsense is happening again?
I decided to take a fun item because it's my last adventure.
And remember when I said items subject to Dungeon Master approval, and then you never told me about your item?
Yep, it was good times.
I also remember that. That's what I was saying.
So I draw the first card off the top of the deck, and guess what? The fun part of this is that it's totally random. So we've got a King of Spades. So what springs into existence right before this?
I love this. All right.
What springs into existence?
You have just gained Dungeon Master approval. That's what just happened there.
Are apparently
because I can tell that it's not bad, but it's not what he wanted.
Is Dungeon Master approval another term for inspiration?
No. It's legally distinct.
A priest and 2 acolytes appear in the middle of the street.
A priest
we need right now.
All right, a priest of what?
That's a great question. I guess anything random.
Kelemvor's priests?
Could be, but they seem to be. I'm gonna just go with this and say like they've got a bell and they're ringing it at these spirits and trying to dispel them as though they are the demons that they clearly appear to be. Foul beasts, go back to whence you came.
All right, says the priest summoned by a deck of cards. Got it.
Yep.
All right.
Is that a deck of many things?
No, that's like rare.
That's
rare.
Wow.
That's also
it's a
bad.
crappier version.
That's something I give you to punish you.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Done that before.
Don't want to be in a campaign with a deck of many things.
I've got a specially printed Dungeons and Dragons deck of many things. I'd have to mail to whoever gets saddled.
Well, if Dan gets it, you could just drop it off in a package on the doorstep.
So
what's in the box?
All right, so that went exceedingly.
That was your turn, is what you're telling me?
I'm trying to see if I've got a bonus action use, I think. But the winged creature, Lee has taken them inside the pottery shop, and I assume I can't see them from here.
Correct.
Okay. In that case, I don't know. I'm not too worried about us dealing with these guys, so I'm going to hold back on the Bardic Inspiration right now.
Until they attack, and then you get real worried. We'll see.
Right, because their turn's next.
You know what?
Their turn.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. You're good.
All right. Their turn is next. These fiery, flapping bat monsters, these nasty imps. One of them has already been told today is the day by Reed Coral. It does not care for this. It flaps around and smashes through a window into the pottery shop.
I was afraid of that.
My pottery!
Much
cabbages.
Much pottery, reference acknowledged. Much pottery is laid waste. There is a creature flapping around doing all kinds of property damage in your presence, Lee, and then noticing you and your new acquaintance there, it turns, looks at the two of you, and spits a gout of fire. Roll a dexterity 11 saving throw. I'm going to roll for your friend with disadvantage.
Do I have disadvantage or just them?
Just the badly injured creature has disadvantage.
Well, I am encumbered by them and therefore am not very dexterous right now.
Okay. So you slam into a wall of pottery. You are going to take 7 fire damage. Your friend is going to take 3 as it hits the floor. Kind of like a dodge, kind of like just standing up was more energy than it had anymore. And the creature laughs at you. Fire. The other 2 are engaged in situations with friends. Well, you friends of you, not of them. So let's see. Chomasa, what are you carrying that might contain metal?
My swords.
No reason.
I'm like, or should I arrows? Probably have metal.
I feel like swords have more metal than arrows.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Yeah, so this creature is going to focus intently at your swords that you've been swinging at it with, and I guess just one of them. So you're like, your main sword, Chomasa. The creature is casting heat metal on it. Your sword is suddenly glowing red hot, and holding it is hurting your hand.
Does it matter if I'm fire resistant?
Yeah, I guess. I guess tactically, this creature has made a poor choice.
Yeah.
Thanks for making my sword more awesome.
Well, I mean,
can I slash you with that?
So you would take. I mean, you're not going to take this, but holding that sword right now is going to deal you 12 damage, fire damage, Chomasa. But I guess this creature did not do its homework. You are a red dragonborn ranger. I suspect that you resist some fire damage.
I do.
You know how much you resist?
Half.
So instead of 12, you would take 6 fire damage. The other badly wounded one is looking here. It's flapping around. I think it's going to shoot a gout of flame like its friend in the pottery shop did. I think this is going to catch Thamia, and let's say the priest and acolytes in a blast of flame. How's that, Dan?
Yep, sure.
So if each of you could make a dex saving throw. Dan, you want to roll some saving throws for your trio of worshippers that you summoned?
I'm not gonna.
Oh.
The flame goes right through them. They're illusions.
Oh, they're illusions. Okay. Flame goes right through them. Thamia, give me a dex saving throw.
15.
All right. You will take 2 fire damage as you just get barely scorched.
But I will take that as a win since it distracted them enough to spout fire at it.
It did. Chomasa, let me just make sure I'm getting this heat metal spell correctly.
Do I need to drop my sword?
You will continue to take fire damage on the creature's turn if you do not. That is a choice you could make. So the sword is red hot, but it's unclear how much you care.
Well, my rage is now red hot.
Yeah.
And I am going to use that red hot sword.
Give me a Constitution saving throw to avoid dropping it.
Okay. I rolled a 15.
All right, you're fine. If you had not done well on that, you would either have disadvantage. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say you're fine, especially because you're a dragonborn. Other creatures would be severely more compromised by this situation.
I rolled a 17.
All right, you cleave at the creature. Roll me damage.
6.
All right. You gonna do a follow-up second attack?
Yes, I am. And that is a 22.
Oh.
Nice.
And another 6.
All right, you are hacking and slashing at it. Bits of kind of fiery. I want to call it fiery blood, but it really just is more like lava streams out of it with each stab, and the ground is smoking where it splashes. Anything else, Chomasa?
I'm going to drop the. Can I do that? Drop the sword now. The hot sword.
I think that's a free action.
Okay.
And you still have another sword, right?
I do have my other sword.
All right. Lee, you are in the pottery shop. There is a horrible little fire monster harassing you here.
It is horrible, isn't it? Okay, how much damage have we done? Like, friends, do we have a sense for how many hit points they might have?
Well, I did 7 to the one that is in the shop with you, but it's not bloodied yet.
Okay. I did 12. Okay. All right. Kathy, did you do 16?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I would guess somewhere in the 20 to 30 range is my guess.
I'm thinking if I throw a dart, it's only 1d4 plus 4 damage.
No, it's still not bad.
Yeah. Just something. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll throw a dart at it. 12?
It plugs it right in the shoulder.
Okay. So that is an entire 5 points of damage. Can I reach it to do my flurry of blows?
Yeah, you could. It's halfway across the shop from you. You can head over to where it is. We'll say it's 10 feet away.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to punch it. Oh, I punch it. 24.
Ugh, right in its little fire face.
For another 7.
It is not looking good for this little fire imp.
Okay.
All right.
I think that's it.
Reed Quarrel back out on the streets.
All right. Well, the one that I originally attacked is now in the pottery shop, so
it's
I
true.
Can't see it. So I think I'm going to point at the one that Chomasa is fighting, and say, "Now you, today, is your day."
It's all of your days.
And do significantly less well. That's only an 11.
An 11 hits. You have identified its armor class.
And we found it!
That's it. Right there.
I knew it. Good job, team.
Yay!
Yep. All right. So that does 3 points of necrotic damage.
All right. That is not looking good for that creature, but it's still there. Anything else?
Nope. That's it.
Thamia.
All right. Grabbing my badminton handled net thing. What do they? I don't know what they call them in badminton.
Racket.
Racket. Okay, perfect. For 14.
You swat it and basically cause it to knock it out of the sky. Roll me damage.
Yeah, we'll go with that. 5.
Oh, it's barely there. It's kind of like fluttering, like limping in midair as it flaps around.
That's fine because I have something else to beat it up with. And I rolled a 24. 2, 5. 5 points.
All right, you hit it with your hand axe, and the little fiery imp explodes. There is, unfortunately, Thamia, a splash of lava headed for your face. Make a quick dexterity saving throw.
7.
You take a good size helping of lava to the face for 7 fire damage.
What they say, lava it or leave it.
I'm gonna say like 3 cups of lava.
Man, it hurt me more dying than it did while it was alive. That doesn't seem fair.
It's like it's not a lot if we were measuring, say, water or milk, but it does feel like a lot of lava to have coming in your direction.
I don't know. If somebody threw 3 cups of milk in my face, that would feel like a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but as compared to if we had 3 cups of uncooked rice and then we cook that's a lot of rice.
That's true.
So, hi, welcome to Lava versus Rice, the podcast that is being shut down.
Oh man,
now.
My favorite new show on Netflix, The Floor Is Rice.
Yeah. Oh. We've solved
it's fine, actually. It absorbs a lot of water.
Yeah.
Interesting tactile.
So, Thamia, you have you've done your attack action. I don't know if you want to do anything else.
That's about. No, I think we're good. I trust. Yeah, my team. We're good.
All right. Q Waris Ibard, you're next.
Q looks perhaps just the slightest bit disappointed in his deck of cards, which he shoves in a pocket, pulls out a crossbow, and shoots the imp.
Right?
Have at! That's a 12.
12 hits and 11 damage is enough to kill it. Chomasa, there's a splash of, a salsa bowl full of lava coming at your face. Give me a quick dexterity saving throw.
20.
All right, nice. You nimbly dodge out of the way. You get a little scorch for 3 damage, which I guess then gets halved by you. Yes. So you take 1 damage. Yeah, round down. So you just like a little bit gets damage. Like a little bit gets in your eye, basically.
That's the worst place to get. Doesn't wash out.
Yeah. Dragonborn have like that 3rd membrane. They're fine.
All right. Lava membrane. Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Link it out.
Yeah.
All right. Walk it off.
It is now the fiery imp's turns. There is only one of the original 3 left. It is in the pottery shop with Lee. Let's see. Its fire breath does not recharge, so it is going to fling itself at Lee in a last-ditch effort to cause as much damage to you and the property in this pottery shop as possible. It hates pottery. 16 to hit Lee.
My AC is 16.
All right, Tahai goes to the attacker. So it clips you for 3 slashing damage, and then the wound kind of burns for 2 more fire damage. So that's 5 total, but if you were someone who resisted damage, those numbers being separate would be secret.
I am not.
All right. Chomasa, you are in the somewhat empty street. Things are in wreckage. There are wagons knocked over, barrels full of produce have been tipped. People, it seems like pretty much things have cleared out now because, the sight of 3 winged flying fire monsters fighting a strange man with wings, that clears the streets in White Sparrow pretty good. Mm-hmm. But you can see there is wreckage and a fight still going on inside the pottery shop across the street from you.
Well, I scoop up my sword, which I assume is now safe too.
Yeah, it's warm, but it's no longer dangerous.
I like it. It's a good worm. And I run into the pottery
barn.
All right. You run into the pottery barn and see a strange creature slumped against a shelf of broken pottery. You see Lee engaged in fisticuffs with a horrible little fire imp.
Okay, I've like got my swords.
Yeah.
And don't even have to worry about damage. Yeah, it's too late. I'm not that fond of pottery. It's fine. I roll a 20, not a natural 20. But
you cleave at it. Give me damage.
8.
It erupts. Lee and Chomasa, dexterity saving throw.
20.
All right, each of you would take 3 fire damage, or if you are Chomasa, 1 fire damage.
I need healing.
You had a lot of you had too much salsa.
Yeah. 6 of 21 is where I'm sitting right now.
All right, order has been returned to White Sparrow, or at least normality. Let's say that you help that your recently acquainted creature. You limp over. He'll help him limp over to the Ever Shady Tavern, because at least there's a place he can lie down there that it's not a trashed pottery shop. The people of White Sparrow slowly return and start picking things up and trying to mend things and patch things together and start some important insurance paperwork and so on.
This creature doesn't appear to be necessarily entirely natural, but I have a very good medicine score, so I would like to try to at least attend to their wounds.
All right, you are in. You're just in kind of like the first bench inside the Ever Shady Tavern. Many of the regulars have suddenly remembered that they have things to do elsewhere, so things are pretty quiet and empty in here.
Amazing how many people left their stoves on.
Yeah. Rhea Coral, give me a medicine check.
That was only a 12. I didn't roll very well.
Well, I will tell you, with a 12, you recognize that this creature is not of the mortal world, and that the injuries it sustained are significant.
So is that able to, do I even think I would be able to stabilize these?
You feel like this is not even something you've read about, basically. You are out of your element here.
What about
like
a healing spell?
Yeah.
You could try. I would say with that medicine check, you're like, I don't even know where to start. Like, the stuff that is oozing out of him looks more like Quicksilver than anything you've seen before. He has taken significant injuries. One of his wings is basically about to fall off.
Well, I feel like it's worth trying.
Okay.
So I'm going to cast a Cure Wounds.
All right. You cast a Cure Wounds. Remind me what that does.
I touch it and give back hit points equal to 1d8 plus my spellcasting ability modifier. It has no effect on undead or constructs, so I doubt that applies to this. So assuming it works, I rolled a 1. So assuming it works, it would get back 4 hit points.
All right. The creature looks a little better, but still severely injured. But it seems like perhaps you've helped it a little bit, and specifically, hard to say. The creature opens its eyes for kind of the first time in a little while, though, and looks at the 5 of you wearily. Thank you.
I've done what little I can. Is there something more we can do to help you?
There is. If
tell
you,
us more.
I'm being dramatic.
I can see that about you.
My name is Serene. I come from a place called Ashura. It is not of your realm. We were attacked by devils, and my palace crashed near here.
Ooh.
There are beings that were imprisoned in Ashura that are now loose.
Do any of these words or places or names mean anything to any of us?
Give me a religion check.
Could Cuaris put on he pulls a circlet out of his bag
Oh, yeah, he does.
Puts it on.
What is this?
It's fancy.
It is fancy. Let's see how this
I don't know what's happening.
How this actually works. Rolling religion now. I only got a 12 even with that, but
I got a 13.
You think you feel like maybe the name Ashura you feel like maybe you've heard reference to that it might be a location spoken of as being somewhere in the celestial realms.
What were we rolling before? Was it religion? Religion. Okay, I rolled a 17.
You think specifically that you've heard that this is a place known from the realm known as Celestar, Thamia, which is the fourth of the seven heavens. It's supposed to be a nice place.
Sounds very sparkly.
Not anymore.
Yeah, like. Very, very sparkling. Well, this was just part of it.
Only the palace of it.
A warship of devils attacked the palace and tore it from the realm. It crashed in the mountains near here. There is a devil called Krek, who seeks to summon his master to your realm.
That's not the devil that... No, that was a demon that we met before.
Devils are worse than demons, just so we're clear.
That doesn't sound terribly good at all.
No, it would be bad.
Which mountain did you crash in? Like which direction did you come from?
To the east. Give me a I'm going to say who is likely to perhaps have been traveling, not just hanging out in White Sparrow in the last week?
Probably me.
All right. Reed Coral, when you were on your way back to White Sparrow.
And maybe Chomasa, we were probably traveling together.
You were out, working, you were, doing what you need to do to acquire that snazzy cloak that Chomasa has. So about 5 days ago, you remember seeing like a blinding teardrop shape, a pulse of light in the night sky. You thought it was probably just like a meteor. And it looked like it kind of, zipped across the horizon, disappearing into the mountains to the east, which, any of you who have traveled in and around White Sparrow would know are called the Ghost Peak Mountains.
I will share that with the rest of the group and say, the story checks out.
Most intriguing.
Yes.
I need you to travel to that place and stop Krek. He will let Thuron through. Thuron, a general of Din, he will destroy your entire realm.
Well, how can we stop him?
He is but one. You must try.
Could you be any more specific, please?
Does he have any specific weaknesses?
Kill him.
Oh, well. Thank you for clarifying
that.
This is something useful. I understand.
Serene starts to look kind of translucent, as if he's not quite there anymore.
So you're saying that I wasted my spell?
I think he hung around longer and gave you more information than he would have otherwise. Okay. How's that?
Right. That's fair.
You get the sense that you probably only have a few moments left with this creature before it returns to some other plane.
Can you tell us anything about devils in general? I at least have not encountered many in my time.
They are bad. They like fire and destruction.
Great. Is there anyone we can inform of your injuries / soon to be death?
He looks at you, or I guess it looks at you as if your question is nonsense.
Were there any others of your kind in your palace when it crashed, or was it only you?
There were many, but I was the only one to make it out.
Oh, dear. All right, suddenly Reed Quarrel is like, okay, not only do we have to stop a demon, I have a whole bunch of people I need to creatures to lay to rest. Yeah, somehow.
Serene kind of transforms where his body was lying on the tavern floor of the Evershady Tavern.
It was a bench. It was a
bench. But yes. On the bench, the just dirty, grungy bench, there's suddenly just like a million little golden motes that start to float upward toward the ceiling of your smoky, grimy tavern that you've brought this angel to die into.
I bow my head and bring up my holy symbol and say some prayers to Kelemvor for their celestial soul.
Mm-hmm. A street urchin wanders in through the door of the Evershady Tavern, and it's a small boy, looks like he's probably 8 or 9. He says, "The merchants don't want this," and he drops 6 little fangs on the floor. Each of them looks kind of like a glowing rock shaped like a curved tooth. You suspect that these are remains from the horrible little lava monsters.
Can I pick one up and look at it?
Yeah. Each of you picks one up.
Chomasa, go for it.
Yeah, we'll let the fire.
I got a 10 in investigation.
All right.
I got a 9. I got a 9.
Okay. It looks like a weird.
Got a 3.
You guys are
great.
Really smart. None of you are going to make it as dentists, is what I'm saying. These appear to be the fangs of, these little fire monsters look kind of like mephits, which mephits are various elemental creatures. There's earth mephits and fire and wind and water and so on. They come in a variety of elemental forms. These look like they might be magma mephits, and these might be their fangs. But their fangs, just looking at them and feeling them, you can feel like there is something more powerful than just your kind of normal elemental construct pulsing through these. They feel warm to the touch, and maybe even like little glowy, just a little glowy.
Q takes off his. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I haven't rolled anything yet. If somebody mentions how like warm and powerful they feel, could I roll like Arcana to see if
you could?
19.
There is something powerful that is still lingering in the teeth of these monsters you have destroyed, and it's as if some power from one of the 9 hells itself was empowering and channeling and committing those mephits to chase down Serene in a way that they would not normally have ever bothered to do.
Do I have the impression that like somehow destroying these teeth would weaken that power, or
no? You've done it by killing them. These are just lovely mementos that you now have.
Q takes off his.
They might have some value if you knew like a weird spooky collector.
Yeah. Q takes off his circlet, and you can see his eyes kind of clear after a second, and he looks after the urchin and says, "Fangs a lot!"
Oh, God. Fangs for nothing. The urchin runs away.
He took off the circlet because it definitely didn't need that extra.
I'm going to ask, what is that strange circlet you just put on your head?
Oh, we came across this in our adventures recently with the goblins, and there was a goblin who would come across this circlet that made him smarter. Not smart enough because we took him down a peg, but it seems to have some properties that enhance the intelligence, so I keep it around just in case we need to do any extra research on things.
Seems very wise.
You want to try?
Sure. I'll try it on.
All right. When he hands you the thing, you have to attune to it, so it takes a little while for it to kick in. But then your intelligence is temporarily boosted to 19.
Holy, I feel a lot smarter since my intelligence is 11 to start.
Yeah. Mine was 10. That's why he doesn't make stupid jokes when he's wearing the circlet.
Honestly, I feel like I find it a little bit discomfiting. So I will take it off and return it to QRS after the hour is up and say, this is very, very interesting.
It is interesting.
Is there somewhere around here I can buy a healing potion?
Yeah, I think you could. Okay. That's because your bard doesn't want to bother to heal you?
Apparently.
You could ask.
I'd rather we save spell slots. Like, I'd rather spend money.
Yeah, I only have 2 more spell slots after spending that one. We probably are spending at least an hour just like of downtime.
Yeah.
You could also use a hit die.
I don't want to. No, I don't want to do that. Save the things. Buy consumables while you're in town.
All right. Why don't you regain 2d4 plus 2 hit die when you drink this healing potion?
Okay.
I'm also gonna get one.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
How much are they?
I think they're about 50 gold pieces.
Okay. That's all.
So, I mean, I don't know. That's some. Not everybody's as well off as you, Reed Coral.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I don't have that much money. I just assumed they were like 100 gold pieces. I only have 100 gold pieces.
My quick internet search suggests they are 50.
Cool.
Well, that only got me to 13 of 21. So if anyone,
I'll heal you. I got plenty of spell slots.
What am I rolling? Again.
2d4.
2d4.
Plus 2.
Take another 5, Lee. Sorry, that was
I am back up to max.
This is not the best roll.
9. Oh,
that's
me
okay.
too.
And I'll do a hit die too.
Well, worth 50 gold pieces to get back to max.
Yeah, that would be like half of my entire life savings right now. So I'm like,
But at what cost? Your health.
Right.
If you haven't got
50
your
gold
health,
versus.
you haven't got anything.
That's true. That's true. Maybe I should buy one for later, just
for the
in
road.
case.
Also, a granola bar.
Yeah, you don't want to see Reed Coral with low blood
You
sugar.
might get
let me tell you.
nippish on the way there.
And some trail mix, the kind with the little chocolate pieces.
Yes.
Yes.
Now I want chocolate.
What's the point of anything else?
Chocolate.
Okay, I'm back up to max.
Yay.
So are we just heading out right away, or?
You tell me, adventurers.
I feel like time may be of the essence.
I think
I
so
agree.
too.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right. And so you decide to head out. You pack up some rations. It sounds like some of you have taken some healing potions. And it's going to take you probably the better part of the day to reach the Ghost Peak Mountains, which are far to the north and east of here. As you are heading out, crossing the countryside, some of you remember you passed by the old tower where the Nightblades live, and you pass some familiar familiar things. And before too long, you can see that something is different at the Ghost Peak Mountains. There is a visible cloud of black smoke and ash hanging over the top of them. Along the way, you're strolling. At some points there's like there's a path, and sometimes you're just going over the countryside. You pass a farmstead. There's a farmer sitting there with his livestock who greets you and says, "Be careful where you're going. Strange things are afoot."
What kind of strange things?
Well, my cow gave birth to 3 calves yesterday. Each one of them had 2 heads. It's an inauspicious sign.
Oh dear.
And so you continue on your way. You're traveling through a field, and the field is looking very weird. And as you look down, you realize that some of the plants in the field have all died, but specifically they've all died in the shape of a strange circular glyph. It seems very unnatural. Anyone? Yeah. Why don't you look at it? Give me a religion check.
10.
It seems spooky, and just thinking about it is making you feel unsettling. As Reed Coral is standing around looking at this strange glyph that is just formed by dead plant life in the middle of the field, the rest of you just all feel like unsettled. Like this is not a place that you want to hang around.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's always cows and fields with the aliens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so you head up into the mountains. There are no really trails here after a certain point. It's just rocky, cold paths, and there's a decent amount of ice along the way. It is night falls, and you decide it's probably for the best to camp here rather than trying to scale a mountain after dark. I don't know. Is that actually
far from the glyph, please?
Yeah, well far from the glyph, but not all the way. You figure you'll do the final summit in the morning. So you get up together. Some of you have very strange dreams and visions as you sleep. You see a land built out of iron with horrible citadels bursting up from the ground, blood dripping off of rooftops, and creatures made of fire walking through the streets. And then suddenly you have images of that city, that iron citadel, here in the mountains just on the edge of the valley that White Sparrow is home to.
Don't forget to take your long rest and get your spell slots.
Good call.
And so you awaken the next day feeling not great about things, but with a sense of purpose that perhaps this is something you can do something about. You're at the foot of the mountain. A rocky path above you leads up toward the top, toward this site of some kind of crash that your associate Serene has told you about. A black cloud of smoke and ash hangs over the mountain top.
Well, that's foreboding.
Forward? Yeah.
I suppose we press on.
All right. And so you trudge for several hours up the increasingly steep, cold, and icy path toward what will hopefully be a place that you'll be able to do some good in the world. Maybe QRs play some songs, maybe others tell some stories to try and keep your spirits up. But this is a march unlike anything that you have experienced, at least in your recent lives. And as you're getting toward the top of the mountain, toward the source of the smoke, something makes a noise in the icy cliffs above you. There is something bleeding. Bleeding, not bleeding.
Okay.
Bleeding.
Oh, like a sheep.
Okay. What do I hear?
Yeah.
Bleed.
Wait, oh, God, that's horrible. No.
It's those fire demons again.
Erica, help me out here. What's a good bleat?
A good bleat? Like a
Yeah.
wah, wah.
I think we can do better. Other. Hold on.
There you go.
All right.
I wish Kat was here. She's really good at the sheep noises. It's impressive.
Oh, wow. That's a special
Skill.
power.
It's a skill.
Editor, please pick whichever of those was the best sheep noise and remove all the other ones.
Sheep sounds ill.
What horrors await at the top of the Ghost Peak Mountains? What creature is bleeding in the ice and snow near you? Who will survive the adventure of the Crash Palace? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill, where you'll roll initiative and fight something that bleeds.
Oh, yeah. Total Party Kill, a podcast where we roll initiative.
And fight
things that bleed. Yes. No, that's how we do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
First it bleeds, then it'll bleed.
Live stream, we are going to play some more Dungeons and Dragons very soon, but we're going to take a quick break and hydrate and things like that. And then we'll be back really soon, right? Everything's still working, Dan?
Thumbs up.
All right, everyone's good?
Yep.
Yay.
Be right back.
Dan, you're going to turn the thing off? Live stream, hello bootleg. We are back. We're about to get rolling. I hope you're still listening and enjoying and whatever it is you're doing. Yeah, at least listening.
Yeah.
At least listening.
Like it.
Yeah, shut up.
Stop telling our listeners to shut up.
Who are you even talking to? We can't hear you.
Feel free to tweet us or join our Slack as a member.
Yeah, right? But stop yelling at the
But podcast. Stop yelling. Yeah.
It hurts our feelings.
You're scaring your friends and family. Dan, should we do the thing?
Do the thing! Sorry, I just finised watching. Really watching Legends of Korra.
Excellent.
Tony!
Welcome back. Welcome. Sorry, I had like flashbacks to several years of my childhood there. Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, your erstwhile dungeon master. We are continuing the adventure of the Crashed Palace. Joining me is a group of adventurers who are available. First up, it's Aline Sims.
I'm not available.
You were available to play this adventure right now.
Oh, okay. I play.
What other? Sorry, I guess that was open to meaning.
It was. However,
joining me, I'll do it again. just making work for the editor. Watch this. We'll just make it shorter. Joining me is a group of adventurers. First up, it's Aline Sims.
Adventurers? ? I play Lee, the Air Genasi monk. Yeah, that's me.
Next up, it's Annette Wierstra.
Hello, I am playing Chomasa, a Dragonborn ranger.
Also here, Dan Morin.
I am playing Qweris, a bard, and Tony, I'm no longer available for this adventure. I'm sorry.
All right. Also joining us, Kathy Campbell.
Hello, I play Thamia, a Goliath fighter.
And last but not least, Erica Ensign.
Hello, I am playing Reed Quarrel Kilgareth, a 6'7" tall, berobed goth priestess of Kelimvor, the comforting god of death.
Important question. Why do you want to kill Gareth? What has he done?
He knows what he did.
He knows what he did.
Fair. All right.
Sorry, Erica. All right. I was trying to think of how to sum up what you're doing so far, and it just kind of makes my head hurt.
We're walking up a mountain.
Yeah, right, you are walking up a mountain because an angel has asked you to travel to the crashed palace of Ashura, a place where the demon devil Krek was imprisoned. For Krek Cirx is not a word. For Krek seeks to open up a passageway from your mortal realm into the land of Din and bring forth his master Thuron, and everyone agrees that would be real bad for the existing tenants of this realm. So yeah, crazy.
It's just a typical Sunday.
Yeah, crazy celestial business. You have fought some fire monsters. You have heard strange things about a cow giving birth to calves with 2 heads. You've seen a creepy field. You know,
Let's go investigate those cows more.
You are making your way up the icy path. Fresh snow has fallen on the ice and rock path that snakes its way up through the Ghost Peak Mountains. Your destination, the site of the Crashed Palace, where a smoky cloud of ash hangs overhead. Along your path, razor-sharp icicles hang from a glacial overhang along the path. Wet snow blows heavily enough to make travel precarious. Here and there, drops of silvery blood, the last mementos of your friend Serene, streak the rock canyon walls. As you round a bend, there you see a hulking beast in the shadows above you, and it makes a menacing bleat that sounds like this.
It's not that menacing.
So menacing.
So cute.
I'm terrified.
A menacing goat.
I mean, it's hulking,
everyone's a
so
critic,
hulking,
Tony.
That's
That is a scary goat. I take it all back.
A creature that might once have been a ram drops down from the icy ledge, ready to attack the front of your party. It appears that Chomasa was leading the way. I don't know how accurate your depiction of tokens on the map is. This creature, though it may have been a ram in a past life, is now something different. I am wary to say something more. Its skin is split and torn. Its horns are covered in gore. Its eyes blaze red. Its legs have ripped open to form extra legs. This is now an 8-legged goat, and a single terrible glyph has been carved in the beast's forehead and glows red. This fiendish goat stands between you and your destination. That's right. You're gonna fight it. You're gonna fight a goat. Deal with it.
Cool. Suddenly it seems more menacing.
Yes. Is the glyph the same shape as the one in the field?
Sure, looks similar. It's hard to tell. This one's on a goat, so you know.
Everybody throw tin cans at it. It might distract it.
How many tin cans do you have in Dungeons and Dragons?
1,000. Nope, those are ball bearings. Never mind.
Right. I'm adding the goat to the initiative order. Eat it.
The goat? Eat the goat?
I mean, okay,
we gotta kill it first.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's red now. What happened?
Yeah.
I decided to make it more demonic because you guys were not taking my goat seriously.
Oh, that definitely fixed it.
Now I'm scared.
Now you have a red
curried.
spray painted goat.
It's dripping with blood.
It's a pre-curry.
Oh, it's purple now. It's very scary.
You know what? You guys used to be my favorite
We're
group.
taunting Tony. This is a bad idea. He can have very terrible.
Yeah,
things
you know what?
happen to
Hold
us.
on. You know what
Kill
ability
us.
I have?
Killing
Copy
us.
paste, copy paste, copy paste.
Oh, no.
All right.
Okay.
We can all agree that though you as players find the goat unintimidating, your characters find it unsettling.
Yes.
How's
yes.
that?
Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what better be that way.
So are we rolling initiative or what?
I'm rolling initiative. I mean, the goat has already killed 2 of you while you're making fun of it.
16. I don't need to tell you. I just need to wait for the ability to enter.
You probably can't do that because I need to add
You removed me.
Oh, sorry. I have to do it like once per map, and I did it wrong.
It's fine.
Now
You're
we're not
back.
even in there. There we go.
Okay, you're back. You're back.
So confused.
He's back. Oh, come on.
All right.
Roll 20. Roll 20. We're going to have a conversation.
I'm going to type. Oh, are you freaking kidding me?
It's just because we're all trying to do it at the same time, so we keep canceling each other out. So if we would just
Fine.
enter it like, one by one.
In initiative order.
Yeah.
But how do we know?
Logic.
Clearly, Reed Coral is very discomfited by this goat because I got
All right.
3.
I'm going to tell you, the goat has jumped down from the shadows. It has surprised you, and it is going to attack first on a surprise round, and then you can all react.
Jerk-face goat.
Jerk-face goat, indeed. So the goat is going to start off with... It has a variety of things it could do.
Could it bleed at us again?
It drops down, and it looks like Thamia and Chomasa are kind of at the front of the path, leading the way. It drops down in your vicinity, and it does this as it hits the ground. There's just an immense stomp as the ground shakes with some kind of strange power. So let's see. It is going to do a stomp attack against both of you. So Chomasa, that is a critical fail for the goat, and Thamia, that is a 20 to hit.
Dang it. Yep, that hit.
All right, Thamia, you're going to take 6 bludgeoning damage and 2 fire damage. 8 damage total if you don't care about type.
Not care about type. But very thankful for that healing potion.
Let's see. And since it has done that in your general vicinity, it kind of tries to rush between you and ram. I'm going to put it here. It's going to ram Lee. Let's see here.
This goat's a jerk.
Yeah, it's not,
That is.
Lee.
It's a goat.
17 versus you.
Yeah, that gets me.
You get hit in the side by a giant mean demon goat for 8 bludgeoning damage.
Jeez Louise.
It's like getting hit by a normal goat, but worse.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. All right, Q Waris. You're toward the back of the group. You take in the whole scene as a goat has dropped down between all of you and charged your friend Lee.
Does Lee actually had better initiative than me? I think she gets to go first because she had a 22.
Oh, somehow.
Yeah. I think you
somehow
were thinking that was the sheep's turn.
All right, it's a goat. A giant infernal goat.
Don't
call it a sheep.
I feel sheepish.
Wake up, sheeple.
Goatish.
Lee.
All right,
Lee, don't be goaded into doing anything you don't want to do.
I'm hitting it with my quarterstaff.
All right.
Quarterstaff. 17?
16. 16. You wrap it across the forehead.
And goat.
Roll me damage.
The forehead, like that's the hardest part of a goat.
But it
5.
also has the glyph.
That's true.
The goat glares at you with infernal eyes and bleats.
My strike is 14 versus AC.
All right. You pummel the goat in the side. You just punching a goat. High fantasy.
Whatever I can do. 7 that time.
Later, you guys should go cow tipping. Don't tip that 2-headed cow though. 7 damage to the infernal goat.
They're baby cows. They're easy to tip.
Yeah, especially with 2 heads. Like that's top heavy.
Guys, that just does not seem sporting. Lee, anything else?
I thought I had a thing that let me disengage and run away, but I don't see it, so I'm just gonna stay here.
I think that's a thief thing, or a rogue.
Cunning action is a rogue thing. There is some stuff with monks though; they have a lot of mobility stuff.
Q Waris.
Q will
fight a goat.
I guess.
Fight a goat.
I think that's the answer. Just looking at some options here. Q will run up and stab the goat. Nine.
All right, you stab in the direction of the goat, but your little rapier clangs off the goat's scary horns.
Cool. All right, I have a lot of regrets.
Mm-hmm.
As a bonus action, let's give a bardic inspiration to Famia. So you get a D6 that you can add to an attack roll or a saving throw or ability check.
All right.
Enjoy.
Chomasa, I think you're next.
I've got my swords on the ready. The first one, I roll a 21.
Wow, you were just cleaving at that goat.
For 7 points of damage.
All right, let me note that.
And I do a little spin and stab at it with a 23.
Wow.
Says the goat.
With 8 points of damage.
All right, this goat is severely wounded at this point. It has been hit with a stick, it has been punched, and it has been stabbed. Also, Kioaris did something.
I intimidated it.
I poked it.
All right, anything else, Chomasa?
No, that is it.
All right, Famia.
All right, let's hit it with a hammer.
Hammer time.
Wow. Okay. 12.
12 hits.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm going to roll the correct dice. 4.
4 damage?
Yeah.
All right.
But that's okay because I'm going to turn around and slash with my axe. Oh, just kidding. I rolled a 3, so I'm not even going to use my inspiration.
It's a hectic scene. Many of you are now crowded around the giant infernal goat, and it's you swing but you kind of like hesitate because you don't want to accidentally hit Chomasa, and you also miss the goat. So. Yeah.
I appreciate it though.
All right. The goat is next. So the goat is at the center of this fray. Thamia and Chomasa and Kiwaris, you are all engaged with it. Lee, did you disengage?
No.
Okay, you're there too. Yep. Reed Coral, you're probably nearby but not engaged with it, do you think?
I think so.
All right. So the first thing this goat does, it's like reeling, it's spinning, it's looking for a target, and it just kind of does like a half step. It jumps into the air and comes back down with an immense stomp. It is going to try and hit. I'm going to say 4 of you, everyone who's engaged with it. So everybody but Reed Coral is going to be targeted by this. So Thamia, that is going to be 17 to hit. Chomasa, critical success to hit. Kiwaris, 19 to hit. Lee, 15 to hit.
Oh, thank goodness. Doesn't hit.
Doesn't hit me either.
It hit me.
It hit me.
It hit. Okay. So Kiwaris, you are going to take... do you care about damage types?
Oh man, I mean, just academically, but
6 bludgeoning damage and 2 fire damage. Things are going to be worse for Chomasa, though. I guess probably the fire damage is not going to be as big a deal. So it basically like lands on your foot, Chomasa. You are going to take 11 bludgeoning damage.
I'm going to use my cutting words as a reaction to reduce that damage with my bardic inspiration.
All right.
And
how much does it reduce?
Saves you? Well, 1d6. Let's see how it goes. 1.
Oh my
Great.
God.
I have rolled like.
Thank you.
I have rolled terribly today.
Rolling awful.
You have taken 10 bludgeoning damage as a large infernal goat lands on your right foot, Chomasa, and there's a bit of a reverb. 7 fire damage to you, of which I guess you'll have that, so you'll take 3 fire damage.
Wow.
Yeah. I am doing a good job at doing fire damage to the person who resisted this adventure. All right.
I appreciate it.
The goat, having done that, reels around looking for a target. Which of you has taken the most damage from the goat at this point? Who's not looking great? Chomasa?
I took 8, I think.
Yeah,
All right.
8.
The goat is going to try and charge you, Chomasa. It's going to do its ram attack. 7 to hit.
7? No, that's...
Yeah. The goat rams in your direction and misses you by like a mile. The goat collides with the side of the glacial wall here, and dagger-like icicles rain down upon all of you. All lovely. Creatures nearby, which includes Reed Coral, make a dexterity saving throw. The goat is going to make a dexterity saving throw to not be impaled by icicles as well. The goat succeeds.
I got a 20 and a 9.
I got a 20.
21.
The number to beat was a 12.
Okay, good.
I failed.
I rolled a 14.
If you failed, you take 3 piercing damage from falling ice.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not feeling good about this adventure. Let's just go home.
Yeah.
Reed Coral.
with you.
Okay. So the goat is now over there.
Probably this Krensk. Too many names that start with KR in Dungeons and Dragons. Yep. Dan knows all of them. Krek. Krensk is the guy who. What is Krensk do in your bar now, Dan? I forget
he's
what
a
he was
bouncer.
hired to do.
He is now hired a bouncer after we kind of abused him for a long time.
Beat him up several times.
He was a low-level thug, and we made friends with him. By which I mean,
technically
really
he was a mid-level thug, but you sure treated him like a low-level thug. Man. Anyway, so Crack the Demon. Sure, you could just go back to the Ever Shady Tavern and play Pinochle and just find out what it means when he opens up a portal to the General of Din, known as Thuron, who will likely show mercy on you for having chosen not to stop it. That's not true.
No,
all right, Reed Coral.
Okay. Can I make a medicine check just to sort of see how many hit points I think this thing might have left?
It's not doing well. It is panicking and flailing about.
Like, I'm just trying to decide, do I want to use my spell that has a better chance of hitting, or do I want to try to attack it with a weapon, which will do more damage?
I think it is probably hard to know that without some pretty powerful ability to know a creature's hit points based on your relative limited experience with infernal goats so far.
That's true. I mean, I have a lot of experience with goats, but infernal goats is outside.
Beasts of a different color.
Yeah, outside.
Red. Red.
I think I will try to attack it with my halberd because it did get pretty close. Mm-hmm. Am I like within 10 feet of it where I am now?
Oh, because the halberd has reach. Sure.
Yep. All right. So then I will just continue to stand where I am as I want in battle, and just bring out my giant long halberd and swing at the hindquarters of this goat, and do it very poorly for a 9.
Oh, the goat somehow tumbles out of the way, on this treacherous icy path.
Yeah, I didn't think that would hit. Okay, Chomasa has been hit a whole bunch of times, correct?
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am going to use a bonus action and cast a healing word over toward Chomasa.
All right.
Which will restore, let's see, how many points? 7 hit points.
Thank you.
I rolled max.
Woohoo.
All right, and then I will continue to stay where I am.
All right. Let's see. Lee, you are next, I believe.
Okay. Do I need to move a square to get within range, or am I?
Yeah, it kind of charged it off and hit the wall, so you can scamper over there and punch it if you want.
Alrighty. So we're gonna do my typical quarterstaff unarmed strike. 1, 2, not quite punch, as it were. 21 to hit with my quarterstaff.
Oh, you hit it right in one of its it's kind of like its joints. At this point, some of the weak spots on a goat. Just get it right there with a stick.
Okay, and I only rolled a 1, but that's still 5 points of damage.
This goat is looking very unsteady on its many, many legs.
And then for my unarmed strike, that's a 7.
You punch in the direction of the goat. The goat spirals out of the way. Do you get to do another one or no?
No, just 1 for unarmed strike.
All right. Q-Waris, a bard. There is a goat flailing about on the path ahead of you.
You call that a goat? I've seen scarier goats down at Farmer Smith's goat
emporium.
You were so strong.
I started so strong. Ran out of steam.
Is that across the path from Farmer Jack's goats, and more goats?
Yes, right.
But
you know what? Goats tell it on a mountain.
Oh. But down the street from the goat palace. I got it. God.
Well, it can make a saving throw. Wisdom.
All right. The
DC
goat
13.
Checking goat wisdom. Really? Okay.
Oh no.
Well, he didn't make it. He rolled a 12. So this goat takes 1 psychic damage.
And it's a disadvantage to it on its next attack, which...
All right.
That is good.
Yes.
All right.
At 1 point of psychic damage just hurt its psychic.
You have attempted to punch a goat. You have attempted to psychically manipulate a goat.
Manipulate's a strong word.
You have demoralized a goat.
Demoralized. Thank you.
There we go.
Really taking the high path here. Chomasa, do you want to go next?
I do. My foot really hurts and I'm annoyed.
Yeah, you had a goat dropped on it.
Okay, so my 1 sword, I am attacking with a 7. But I have another sword.
Mm-hmm. No waiting.
And it attacks with a 9. Apparently done.
Huh.
Less agile with 1 foot.
This has been a turn, people.
Yes.
Chomasa, you all set?
I'm all set. I'm off nursing my foot.
Thamia, you are all that stands between this goat getting another turn to just wreck all of you or slaying it. Can you hit the goat? A thing that, for the most part, your colleagues have not been good at doing. Can you hit a goat? Can you hit a goat?
I believe in you.
Okay, so if I rolled an 8, what do I roll with inspiration?
It's a bardic inspiration is 1d6.
A d6.
Go for it.
Yep. We're rolling that. Magic, come on, dice, baby. I rolled a 4, which is 12.
12 hits a goat.
Yay!
Even a giant infernal goat. Roll damage, Thamia.
I rolled an 8.
As Thamia takes in the scene of you all attempting to murder a goat, your half-giant friend strides over and just stabs it in the gut with a sword. The goat dies with an infernal bleat.
Now that was an infernal bleat.
There we go. That was very scary and intimidating.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm glad that bardic inspiration paid off because I was feeling pretty useless.
Yeah. No, you did great. Thank you for that.
Teamwork
we survived.
makes the dream work.
Heck yeah.
So I rolled a 20 to Arcana to check this thing out.
Okay. You are studying the goat. The symbol carved into its forehead suggests that it has been cursed and possessed by an entity straight from the Nine Hells itself. It is not really a goat so much as a goat-shaped container for some kind of hellish nightmare entity that you have now removed from existence.
So we probably shouldn't try to make curry out of this goat, although I bet it would be spicy.
I like spicy.
Yeah, same.
Not how much ichor do you like in your curry?
Ick.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Also, I'll just tell you, Lee, as you study it, you suspect to the right weird collector, the glyph marked horn of the ram is probably worth something too.
Cut that baby off.
Sure. Yep.
All right. Just add that to the same pouch where you keep those mephit fangs.
Oh, mix them all up for a great witch's brew.
Honestly,
delicious.
I want to find the collector that wants all of these things and then to just take them out because I don't trust anybody who's collecting this particular stuff.
It's just somebody who runs like a really sad pawn shop.
I'm picturing all these fangless mephits coming in like, are you fangs?
Or like costumes for Halloween.
That's right.
Yeah. It's mainly it's a place.
It's
a
Halloween
store.
Yeah.
It's only
once a year.
It's in Diagon Alley.
Oh man.
So you decide that this is probably a good time to head further up the path.
What? No, we go home. Don't speak for us.
I like how he didn't even give us the choice.
Yeah, you decide.
You knew.
Obviously, you're gonna keep going.
And take a rest for an hour so people can use some hit dice if they need to.
I could use some healing.
Yeah, maybe here next to the simmering infernal remains of this goat demon.
It's nice and warm.
Yeah, you'll take an hour rest.
Glacier.
Yeah.
Do we want to do... I don't know how people are. I'm doing okay. I only have 2 more spells for the entire day, so...
Yeah, I'm at 13 out of 21, which is not great. I do have all my...
25.
I've got 6 spell slots. So that's a decent amount, but I don't know what else we're gonna face.
Yeah.
So using a hit die
I figure
is fine
we'll
by
probably
me.
face something even worse
Than a goat?
Right.
I don't know, Erica.
Yeah, I could use a hit die.
All right, can we take an hour?
Yeah.
All right,
totally.
Let's
Nothing
I
bad
feel
is
like it
happening
probably
in the
took an
meantime.
hour to just do that really in-depth investigation that Lee just did of this goat, and I suspect that like cutting off a horn of a goat takes a while because you got to get like the right kind of angle and saw and saw and saw. You can't just do that with a sword.
True.
Okay. All right, that was good.
So I'm up to 20 of 21.
Same.
Good.
Can I get a reminder on hit dice how that works?
Roll a hit die for you, which is probably a D10.
10 or 12.
For fighter,
I am
10,
not
I think.
find. Oh,
so if you,
under your HP, perhaps like there should be like a little hit.
Or if you're in D&D Beyond, just click on short rest and it'll tell you what the hit die is.
Yeah.
I am having the absolute freaking worst time finding stuff. Oh, that short rest. That's why. Okay. Good. It's fine.
You're not in the character sheets all the time, like
I know.
You know,
it's true.
No, I mean, I live in the character sheets.
Yeah, I've always said that about you.
Thank you.
Dan, how many days of D&D do you play on an average week?
I don't know.
Many.
3.
That's a lot.
Okay.
It's not enough.
10. plus 2. And I rolled a 1.
Oh no! You can spend another if you want to.
I'm back up to max with 2 hit dice, so
because I have 23 out of 28, so I'm going to do one more because why the heck not?
Can't take it with you.
Yeah. Okay.
Literally.
9 is a much better roll, so I will at the top.
Oh shoot! I forgot. I'm really bad at being a bard. Yep, could have sung and rest that. Can we?
Yeah, do whatever you need to do.
Yep, let's just recant that first one. Kathy, I can give you some extra. Anybody who spent a healing, a hit die, automatically gets 2 extra hit points. So consider after that whether or not you want to use the second one.
Okay. That actually would have. And I save a hit die.
5.
Thank you.
Yeah, 25 out of 28 is better.
Yeah.
Because you might want that second one later on.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Nope.
Should have remembered that.
Yeah, how dare you not have this encyclopedic knowledge at your fingertips?
If I don't have that, Kathy, what do I have?
Puns. 3 books. Puns. We keep telling
Lots
you.
Of puns.
Dan.
Yes, 3.
You say 3 books. Literally, I can't move my camera, but if I could, you could see there's a box here with like 20 copies of my Facebook. They're all for complaints for Tony.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I forgot to.
Tony, I've got some complaints. Let me go through them one at a time, shall I?
Great, we ready to move?
Let's do it.
All right. So you have rested. This is, turning out to be quite a saga as you trudge up the mountains. It has been some time now since your the simple days of just fighting some magma methods in the streets of White Sparrow, and you feel yourself getting closer to the top of the Ghost Peak Mountains. The top of the mountain has basically been blown off, and there is just a smoking crater ahead of you, and the path up toward the mountains it seems like it would, in the past, it would have gone up to the top of the mountain's peak itself, but it basically just kind of drops off here into an immense crater. I think as you look out there, you have a pretty uninterrupted view of a bunch of stuff in the crater. Let me just unhide some stuff for you there. So you probably can't quite make out details on the far walls, but looking out across this huge crater, there's a swirling haze of ash rising up from the deep crater. Within it rest the remains of a fallen palace made of crystal that you see far on the northern edge of the chamber. Deep cracks shoot through the crystalline structure, and even from here, you can see the corpses of several winged creatures, perhaps angels, perhaps devils, littered on the snowy slopes around it. Slightly closer to the edge of the crater from which your path has deposited you is the immense crystal, presumably head of a statue of some kind of god, half buried in the snow of the crater.
I just enjoyed all the 3 or 4 of us.
It's
a head, isn't it? Oh my god, it goes with the hand.
Is the size appropriate to match the hand?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
We need to bring it back with us, though.
Yes.
Clearly.
Yeah. Did it? Who brought a protractor?
Not I.
Yeah. So it is a decent drop down from the crater where you are to the floor, or I guess it's a drop from the path to the floor of the crater.
How far are we talking?
Do we have any rope?
Yeah.
I have the finest silken rope, let me tell you.
Mine's merely hemp.
It's a good 20 or 30 feet down.
Okay.
I got 50 feet of rope. We're all set.
Yeah.
How slippery is this surface?
How slippery is ice?
Okay.
Medium slippery.
Medium slippery.
And now,
slippery. I mean, the ice can as a Wisconsinite turned Canadian, I can tell you that there are a lot of different like slippery factors of ice. It can be very slippery. It can be not slippery.
Could we possibly utilize Chomasa's awesome fireness to like melt like
make a slide
down? Ooh, a slide would work, but I'm thinking more to come back up again.
Well, you're thinking we're gonna get out.
I know. I'm
optimistic.
Yeah. You probably in your adventuring pack probably have at least one person has some good climbing rope and a little hammer and some metal pins that you could hammer.
Probably leave some rope.
Yeah, and then I'll just leave my. I'm perfectly happy to leave my rope just here.
Do you guys want to leave all your rope here?
No. Just 50 feet of Henbin rope.
You sure? Not all.
Hopeful face of a DM that hates rope.
Just all of your rope.
Hey, at least
no one bought a stupid magic rope, right?
At least we're using rope for something that you can actually use rope for.
Yeah, this is
I craft a zip line out of rope.
All right, we shoot an arrow.
Yeah, we shoot a crossbow bolt down, make a zip line, throw your belt over it.
Yeah.
Cannon.
I'm just tying my rope to an outcropping or pounding it in with
I have drawn rope on the map. I hope
Yay.
That truly rope, that feels like my greatest victory as a player, making the DM draw a rope on the map.
All right, so this is the always exciting part. Who is going to be the first person to try climbing down the rope? Who will be the person that needs to be rescued by others?
Okay, so I'm going to stand at the edge where I can see people go, and if someone slips, I'm going to cast Levitate on them.
Oh.
Yes. Nice. Smart. I think I should probably go first because I'm the largest and the heaviest to make sure that it's like solid enough. And so if I fall, I don't land on somebody.
All right, here's how it's going to work. You are going to make an athletics check to climb down the rope. Because you have put a rope in place and not just tried to climb down the slippery side of the crater, you're going to have advantage on that check. So, Thamia.
I'm also, as I have a pretty decent strength, I am also going to sort of monitor the rope. So if it does seem like it is coming unglued from the top, I will try to grab it and at least slow Thamia's descent.
All right, sounds great. Thamia, first up, give me an athletics check with advantage. So 2d20 plus your and take the higher roll, and then add your athletics, which I assume is for a Goliath pretty good.
Yeah. So 14.
All right, you have no trouble descending the rope, landing successfully at the floor of the crater. It is cold. It is icy. There's bits of crystal shards everywhere, Thamia. In the distance, you can see the strange structure of the half-covered head, and I'll reveal a little bit more of the crystal palace itself in the distance. How's that?
Ooh.
All right, Thamia is down safely. Who is next?
I will go last.
I am also at the base, like keeping the rope taut, and I'm ready to catch
me.
Capture someone to use as bait.
I don't know why that's what I kept trying to say.
QRS will slide his way down this rope.
Give me an athletics check with advantage, QRS.
Advantage. I like advantage because my athletics is 1. 17.
All right, you have no trouble getting down.
Should have made the zip line.
Yep.
I'll go next.
All right, Lee, the monk.
18 with advantage.
All right, you make it look like it was basically a ladder that happened to vaguely look like a rope. Chomasa and Reed Coral, you're the only ones up, still there at the edge of the crater.
I'm going.
All right, Chomasa, roll twice, take higher.
I got 23.
All right, no trouble. You're down there. Reed Coral is all alone.
I'm still ready to cast Levitate if I need to.
I got a 16.
All right, you are safely down.
Hey, team.
All right.
Now that we've done our only good rolls for the day,
yes. I would like to, if there's any way to just sort of like make sure that the rope is sort of draped so it's not super obvious that there's a piece of rope there. I would like to do that, sort of make it so that somebody else isn't going to come along and like tear it down or.
I think it would be really hard to tear it down. I think it supported all your weight. They'd have to climb up and undo it.
Right.
Up there.
That's it. I don't want anybody to notice it if possible.
I think that it is unfortunately pretty obvious that it's a rope on the side of a cavern. But it's also like, I don't know. They'd have to climb up there, and then what would they do? They just live up there then. So they climb up there and then fling themselves from the cliff back down. All right. So what would you like to do? You have climbed down. The floor of the crater is weird. There's lots of ice, but there's also lots of crystal shards. It's a little bit like walking on broken glass here. It is definitely quiet, except for the sound of your footsteps on this like crystal that makes kind of a cracking noise everywhere you go.
Well, I guess we're not going to be subtle about our approach.
Yeah.
No.
Shall we go straight to the palace, or should we take a look at that giant head?
Well,
I want to look at
the head's on the way. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
I was afraid you were all going to say that.
So
you were right.
You make your way toward the immense, gargantuan crystal head, half buried in the snow. It lies on its side. You can just kind of see the face in profile if you were looking on it from down above. And all around it is a bed of shattered glass crystal, huge spikes standing up from the ground. All of them as sharp as swords, some of them more like lances or halberds. Are huge, and just getting near it is going to require some acrobatics checks to pick your way across carefully. I recommend not crawling across it. Just pro tip.
I'm gonna keep my distance.
It's hard to make out the details of the head in the kind of ashy fog that hangs over it. So if you want to get close to the head, you're going to have to climb across this field of broken crystals, which would require an acrobatics check to avoid taking piercing damage. Who wants to do that?
Sure.
My acrobatics is +6, but can I roll well enough?
You want to try?
Mine's a +4. I'm game for it.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, I'll try.
All right, Lee, Chomasa, and QRS, head over that way. Maybe Reed, Quarrel, and Thamia hang back for now. You're still within sight of each other, but
21.
I also got 21.
13.
All right. Even if 13's enough, so you pick your way carefully. QRS falls behind a little bit as Chomasa and Lee leap from shard to shard, making their way across the field of glass. The size of the head is immense. It seems like it's just impossible to take in who could have built this thing? Who does it represent? Why is it here? And this is presumably just the head of an immense statue. Lee and Chomasa, as you're looking at it, you hear kind of a strange gurgling noise, and it kind of comes into focus. It's hard here in the hazy, ash-laden air. You see a figure, a body of a large winged humanoid that is basically impaled upon one of these giant shards of crystal sticking out of the ground. It's and there's the giant shard is dripping with quicksilver blood that is pooling beneath it.
As Q is looking at the head, he's going to take out the circlet again and put it on.
All right.
All right. I rolled 21 for an Arcana check. Do I sense anything about it? Anything arcane about it?
Yeah.
Or does it just
You study this creature and you recognize that this is a celestial. It is similar to your friend Serene that you met earlier today. Specifically, you even know that this is a celestial known as a solar, which is a different type of angel, different job classification than that of Serene, who was a diva. but this is a creature that specifically impaled upon this huge piece of crystal that its palace was presumably made from, is painfully dying, but at the same way seems to be dying very slowly, and perhaps though you cannot heal this creature as evidenced by your experience trying to treat Serene, perhaps you could free it from this suffering.
This is very sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are we like can we get close enough to lift it off the shard, or is it too?
It's big. He's a good. The creature is a good 8 feet up there, so you could try and figure out how to do that.
What about medicine?
I will say
check
so.
To figure out.
Melt it? Could I melt it with my fire?
Q, Aris, Thami, and Lee, you're there. Chomasa and Reed, Coral, you're back. You're not entirely sure what's going on.
Yeah, I'm just watching from a distance and keeping. I'm sort of keeping an eye out around my friends, so if something else pops up, like I have 120 feet range with my chill touch, so I'm just keeping an eye out.
Yep.
And I'm hanging out to protect Reed, Coral, just in case anything happens on the side.
How tall is Thamia?
Very good question.
Probably at least 8 feet or so.
Yeah.
Goliaths are big.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like, if you guys wanted to holler up at us, Thamia could try to make her way down and like knock off the top of the spire and lift, because you're tall enough to be able to like lift the angel over your head off of the spire.
Yeah, I'm willing to do that if you
do that.
But I'm not sure that we would be able to see that from here.
Could I stand on someone's shoulders?
Trench coat. You could try.
Lee might be better at standing on anyone's shoulders than you are, given Lee's acrobatics.
That's true. I just figured making a medicine check. I don't know what's your medicine score like?
+2.
Same as mine, so you might as well.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we could try.
Okay, so I'm lifting you up.
Sure. What kind of check? Acrobatics?
Probably athletics for me.
I got a 23.
All right, you have no trouble clambering up your Dragonborn friend as if you've been practicing this.
And I got a 20 to a medicine check.
All right, this creature, this celestial being, is mortally wounded and is in some kind of perpetual state of dying. If you could get it off of the shard on which it's been impaled, perhaps you could give it a more dignified death.
I rolled a 21 on a strength check. Would that do to lift
Yeah.
it?
So, it's a little bit awkward, but perhaps maybe the between the three of you, you spend some time, and it's hard. You have to, push him upward off of the the angel upward off of the spire on which it's been impaled, which is quite hard, but you're able to do it, and then kind of catch the angel and lower it to the ground next to the spire. It's quite a production. It takes you a little while to do it, but then you are gathered around the angel. Meanwhile, Thamia and Reed Coral are, 20 or 30 feet away on the other side of the field of glass of crystal shards that seem to have created, a situation that Reed and Thamia did not feel like dealing with as far as traipsing across glass. Reed Coral, you feel like a sudden kind of a burst of warm, hot air kind of behind you to the right.
Well, I've been trying to keep lookout, so I feel like that would be a thing that I would notice.
All right,
I will quickly turn.
Turn. There's kind of a fiery oval in the air right next to you, and a form you recognize, the devil Rays, who you met in a previous adventure, steps through.
Rays, is that you?
Oh, Reed Coral. Didn't think I'd be meeting you again so soon. How are things?
They've been better. apparently a palace has crashed into the mountains and it's causing some trouble here.
Indeed. That's why I'm here.
Are you here to help us clean it up and ensure that no portal into what was it? The land of Din happens?
Oh wait.
Well, I'll be honest.
I appreciate that.
I didn't think you would be here. Didn't expect anyone here. Think of me more as just an observer, a neutral third party.
So you're not here to help open any portals, is what you're saying?
Things are complicated.
Insight check.
Sure.
Let's see. How is my insight? Oh, my insight's pretty good. It's +5, so that's an 18.
What do you want insight on specifically?
I want to know if I really think that he actually is telling me the truth about being a neutral third-party observer, and whatever it is you were just about to say, I want to know. Like,
yeah. It's hard to say. Raze is a devil, a very tricky creature who did attempt to convince you on first meeting that it was an angel, when that seems to be not what it was. Also, though you do not have any kind of formal business relationship with Raze, Raze does seem somewhat curious, perhaps even sympathetic about your situation, since you were part of a group of adventurers that freed
I was one of the
from
2 people
centuries of captivity.
Yeah, I was one of the 2 who actually stepped forward and specifically scuffed the lines so that he could get away.
I am simply here to observe. Certain employers of mine are very interested to know how things are going to end up here.
So you are observing, reporting back to your bosses, making daily reports or something like that?
Something like that.
Spreadsheets.
It's all very, very boring.
I see. Paperwork. Yes. Do you have the authority to intervene should things go in any particular direction that your bosses would not?
Well, I'd have to put in a requisition for that, and that's probably outside of my pay grade. I am just a single servant here, simply to report back what is seen, and legions will deal with whatever comes from this. You can understand these things are very complicated.
Indeed. I mean,
some of my compatriots, the idea of Theron crossing over into your plane, that excites them. All the better for him to stop lounging around in the Nine Hells, and it's an opportunity for others, whereas others would prefer to leave your realm as more of a fertile hunting ground that is open to all. So it's a lot of politics. You know how the office can get.
Even in the clergy, we have
especially.
Indeed. Okay. Well, it's nice to see you.
Don't mind me. I'll just be hanging around here for a little while.
All right. That's fine with me. I feel in the interest of openness and honesty, I should tell you that we are going to try to stop the opening to Theron. That's very important to us here as mortals on this plane. So that's what we are about.
Best of luck. Openness and honesty. I like that. I'm going to use that. Meanwhile, on the other side of the field of broken glass, Chomasa, Kiwaris, and Lee, you are gathered around the dying form of a Solar that you have taken down from the spire. Its eyes kind of flicker open as they seem maybe they're not really focusing on you, but he kind of looks at each of you in turn and says, "My name is Overon, and you have done me a great service."
What happened?
I was injured when the palace was attacked. We fell to this place. I have lain here suffering for days. He kind of reaches it. I should say it reaches, and it takes from there's a huge gaping wound in its torso, and the angel reaches for its own quicksilver blood and reaches out with its hand and said, please hold out your weapons.
Okay. I hold out my weapons.
All right. The angel kind of paints each of your weapons with some of its own blood, and kind of nods and fades away. And there's suddenly, in the ashy cavern, ashy crater, a million little golden motes floating up toward the sky. Each of your weapons counts as a magic weapon with a +1 bonus to attack rolls and damage rolls until the next dawn.
Wow.
Sweet.
Cool.
So Oberon has floated away into nothingness. There is a rock sitting there, just kind of a decent sized little pebble that looks like it might have been perhaps, in a pouch on his belt, lying there on the ground.
I will pick it up.
All right. This is, I don't know how you pronounce it, Ioun?
Yaun.
Ioun is how I've always heard it.
Ioun?
But I don't know if that's right.
This is an Ioun stone. It is a kind of celestial artifact. And as you pick it up, QRS, you know that whoever holds this stone can speak and read celestial.
Yeah.
Is this one of those ones that you throw up and it spins around your head all the time?
I don't think so. Maybe.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember what the name of that is though. Okay. Well, I will hold on to it unless we need to. Otherwise, transfer it.
So
all right, QRS, Chomasa, and Lee. Oh, celestial.
Celestial. Okay.
Actually,
do you want to travel back across the field of glass to rejoin your friends and a new observer?
Yeah, is there
Can I do
anything about the statue head that sticks? I mean, other than the fact that it's a giant statue head in the ground, is there anything in particular I noticed
Anyone getting
about it?
headaches?
Yeah.
I'll do an investigation check, which I rolled a grade 10.
I'll do the same.
It's an immense head made of crystal. You've never seen anything. It's impossible to even comprehend the size of the piece of crystal that this would have been carved out of. You can't even imagine anything like that.
But it's not the same material as the hand.
No, it's not. The hand is clearly stone, though it's a stone of unfamiliar sources. This does seem, it seems like, you are very fixated on the giant head, having seen a giant hand. It does not seem like, I'm going to say, with that investigation roll, they don't seem like they're of the same scale. Specifically, I'm going to say that the head seems even bigger in scale than the hand, and they are clearly a very different construction, artistic styles, and certainly materials. How's that?
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I'll head back over to the back.
Enough hand talk for Dungeons and Dragons.
Just wanted a heads up. All right, let's go.
Yep. Rolled a 22 to acrobatics to get back.
All right.
Acrobatics, you say? All right.
I rolled
Who's
a 14.
This?
I say, hey, Race.
As everybody.
So Chomasa. So yeah, Chomasa and did all of you make successful acrobatics checks to get back? Chomasa, Lee, and QRS. Okay.
I did a 14.
All right. Yep, that's good enough. So you pick your way carefully back across the broken field of glass and crystal and find, strangely, Recoral, Thamia, to be standing with a rather sinister-looking figure. It's almost kind of, you're not entirely sure the nature of this creature, but you have a sense of unease, and it's almost like the opposite of the feeling you got being in the presence of Serene, or even this angel that you just recently laid to rest. Mm-hmm. It nods at the three of you.
As they were picking their way back, I would like to say I introduced Raze to Thamia.
All right.
Thamia, this is Raze.
Yeah.
Thamia, and then I will make
a pleasure.
And I met Raze.
Yep.
In our previous,
and
yeah.
This is QRS.
Oh yeah, so Chomasa you recognize.
And you've met Chomasa.
Yes, I helped for you.
Chomasa, good to see you again.
I bow.
Thamia, Lee, QRS, a pleasure.
Interesting to encounter you here.
Interesting times.
Yeah, apparently he is here to observe.
Just to observe and report. Nothing sinister about that at all.
Strange that you would jump to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to roll my own insight check.
Yeah.
Me too.
That's only a 10.
I mean, even with a 10,
4.
everything about this... QRs, you love them. Lee,
delightful.
Lee, even with a 10, you feel like everything about this creature is sinister.
Yeah, but I mean, I had my 20 something on my insight check.
You didn't think he was lying.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yep.
You still know that he is a devil.
Sure.
You know, recently freed from the basement of the White Sparrow keep. So this is where the editor would put in listeners see adventure.
Previously,
specifically the adventure A Gleam in the King's Eye. Reed Quarrel, Chomasa, and others found all kinds of creepy things in the basement of Lord Marlon White Sparrow, including, unbeknownst to him, one of his ancestors just kept the devil locked up in a chamber. You know,
like
as you do.
As you do. Royalty.
What else do you do with them? Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so are we picking our way to the cathedral?
Palace, yeah.
I think yes.
Yeah.
Palace,
right.
yeah, thank you.
Don't mind me. I'll just follow along. He kind of flaps in midair with strange bat-like wings as Raze follows you. And so our adventurers head out, leaving the giant head behind them, headed to the fallen, crashed palace. Title of the adventure itself. This crystalline cathedral, a location in the celestial plains, now deposited ungracefully in the Ghost Peak Mountains near White Sparrow. What horrors await them? What devils and angels may request their assistance or seek to end them? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill. The end of this adventure. Of this
we're done.
Oh,
no,
we won.
That's it. You met one
here.
demon.
Found a head. We're good.
Saved an angel.
Found a head. I gotta stop using demon and devil interchangeably.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, what
they mean very
is...
different
so
things.
Insensitive.
Yeah, what is Raze? Is Raze?
Raze is a devil.
Devil.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, I had it wrong.
So like devils and angels are
Mm-hmm.
locked in forever celestial combat, and
I think of demons. I think in D&D are a little more like bestial almost.
Yeah. Demons are more like forces of nature. Devils live in hell. They make contracts. They're required to keep them. They're probably very into the lawful evil kind of way of being.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
They appreciate paperwork, yeah. Let me ask you, just because it's been a little, or I guess, are we playing more, or should we have a break? Should we have a break and play more, or should we close out what we've done today? Is the question.
I'm good to keep playing.
All right.
I think we could do one more.
Okay. Sure.
All right.
Do we
let us?
Do we think is it gonna be? Do you think we'll finish the campaign in one, or
I don't think so, but I think you will
in
be
the middle of a big fight.
It'll be okay. We'll pause it wherever we need to pause it.
I will say,
you have made significant progress, and this adventure is not as twisty as some of the other ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool. Quick break to get beverages or whatever needs, and we'll be back in a second. Bye. Now we are.
We are live.
Hooray.
We're live.
Hi, live.
People are
I'm
still watching and
alive.
listening. You all are still recording.
Yes.
We're going to play some more Crash Palace. All right.
Crash Palace is my favorite character from Hackers.
Wow.
Deep cut. Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, a Dungeon Master. Today we are continuing a mini adventure. We are continuing the mini adventure of the Crashed Palace. Allow me to introduce my players, and they will introduce their characters. First up, it's Kathy Campbell. Hi, Kathy.
Hello. I play Thamia, a Goliath fighter.
Next up, it's Erica Ensign.
Hello, I am playing Reed Quarrel, a very tall, very goth human cleric to the god Kelimvor, the comforting god of death.
Also here, Aline Sims.
Hello, I'm Lee, the very blue Air Genasi monk.
Also here, Dan Morin.
Hello, I am Cueris, a bard with a deck of cards.
Ooh.
Thank you. And last but certainly not least, it's Annette Wierstra. Hi, Annette.
Hello, I am playing Chomasa, a dragon-born ranger.
And so your adventurers have set forth from White Sparrow to the Ghost Peak Mountains, sent on an errand by a dying angel to search for the site of the Crashed Palace, a celestial building, location, chamber, jail that has crashed into your realm, depositing forth some angels and demons who have broken out or broken away from their angel captors. Specifically, your angel friend Serene warned you of one devil, the Devil Crack, who seeks to open a passageway into your realm for his boss, one Thuron, who sounds like not really a person that you want to meet today. Along the way, you've witnessed strange infernal sights. You've fought an infernal goat. You have laid to rest a dying angel and been rewarded for that. And a devil that some of you met in a previous adventure has appeared just to take some notes, just to follow along. You have trudged across the icy, crystal shard-laden, I keep blanking on the word.
Crater.
Crater. I want to call it a cavern. It's not a cavern. Caverns have roofs. Craters do not. That's just
science facts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You have trekked across the icy and crystal shard-filled crater where the palace has crashed. This site of a giant crystalline cathedral that has fallen out of the air and created this huge crater. There's just giant shards of crystal-like glass, and the slopes around it, the snow is littered with the bodies of both angels and devils. Your own devil, the Devil Rays, kind of trots along, flapping his bat-like wings, and looks curiously at the various fallen forms littered around the fallen palace. What will happen next?
What will happen next?
Is there any obvious entrance way to get into this thing, or is it just a mess?
Why don't you roll an investigation check?
Why don't I? Because I have a +0. That's why. No, I still got a 17.
All right. You are looking around, Reed Quarrel, for some kind of entrance into this structure. It's weird. Obviously the architecture of this structure is perhaps on a different, different school of thought than what you're used to in your travels in the mortal realm, specifically around scale. But also it's as if someone took a immense, glowing, magical cathedral and threw it at a rock. So
which is kind of what happened.
Yeah, the structural. This does not look structurally sound anymore. And as you look around, it seems like as this thing came to a rest here in the crater, many creatures were basically flung from it, and perhaps some others died climbing out of it, suggesting that entering it would be extremely dangerous if not impossible. As you're searching around for an entrance, which you do not find, you do notice that there does seem to be a trail of both angelic and demonic blood. The angelic blood you recognize for its quicksilver nature. The demonic blood is kind of this black, sticky tar, some of which you recognize from your fight with that infernal goat. And they both seem to be leading off in the northwest direction from here.
Can I capture any of that silver blood and rub it all over, say, a weapon?
You could try.
All right. What would I try?
I guess you just do it.
Okay.
Your sword now has some silver on it.
Sweet.
You're not sure if that does anything.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Good times.
I'm gonna I think I'm gonna slowly follow the trail to the northwest.
All right.
Yeah.
You all start heading off in the northwest. Ray's kind of flits around. You notice him. He seems to be paying mainly attention to the various devil bodies here, and he kind of calls over his shoulder. You all set with this? Do you mind?
Do we mind what?
Just going to take care of a few things.
Northeast or northwest?
Northwest is the Trail of Blood.
I mean, as long as I don't get hurt, as long as we don't get hurt,
you'll be fine.
Okay.
Ray's kind of flits her out. He seems to be kind of taking things from the bodies, maybe like dog tags, and he crosses some of their arms, and they Lee, you're kind of maybe within 20 feet of one. The body just ignites and like kind of a flash fire, and then poof, and there's just kind of like embers in the air. Ray's goes about doing that with the last remaining demons scattered around on the snow here.
What kind of a role would it be to see? Is it like a history or an arcana to like understand what he's doing and why?
I would say arcana or religion.
Okay. I will try religion.
You could also just ask him.
I could. I just want to know like what I think first. And that's a 13, so
A 13? Okay. I would say, especially given what you have observed so far with dying angels, it seems like when creatures from another plane die here, or they seem to go back to the realm from which they came from, but perhaps they need a little bit of assistance getting unstuck from this realm in order to make that transition.
I see.
So Reyes seems to be floating about doing something similar to the demons as you were able to do for Serene with your Cure Wounds spell. He also seems to be, he's got a little notebook that he pulled out from somewhere, and he's writing down things in the notebook as he flips around doing that.
He did say he was there to, observe and report, so that makes sense. I'm fine with that.
All right. So he's going to do that as you all head off to the northwest, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I would also, as we go, like to check in on any of the angelic forms and see if we can, do a similar thing for any of them.
Sure. Reed Coral, if you want, you can do a religion check on any angel to give it kind of last rites.
Sure, I will do that. How many of them are there here?
There's a bunch. I'm going to say that there's a half dozen of them.
Okay, I'm going to do it for all of them, being my lawful cleric self.
Do you want to roll 60/20s and add your religion modifier to them?
Sure.
It's not going to be. It's pretty trivial for you, I think.
Okay, so that's a 19. Oops, that one's only 6.
What's your modifier, though?
Oh, that's with modifier.
Oh.
Yeah, the 6.
That angel does not go gently into the night.
Yeah. You know what, Reed? We'll say it's going to take you a while, but you do the work necessary to help each of these angels on to the wherever they go, and you gain inspiration from this act.
Okay.
There is now a variety of devil bodies, but an ever-increasing number of devil bodies around as Ray's flits between them. I'm also going to say anyone who hangs around knows there do seem to be, at least kind of based on style and maybe their their garments or the general appearance, 2 types of devils among the sets of remains here.
Okay, would we need to do like an Arcana to learn more?
You could try.
16.
It's you suspect that they might be from different areas of the 9 planes. Of the 9 hells. Other than that, you're not sure.
You could always ask Raze if you're curious. He might tell you.
And it might even be the truth.
Sorry, I played that on the bagpipes as we went. It's kind of hard.
All right. So you've taken some time. You've laid the angels to rest. Raze is busy at work laying demons to rest, taking notes in his notebook, and you follow the trail of angel and demon blood to the northwest edge of the crater. Raze seems to be kind of hanging back a little less. Before he was practically like in your group, following along. He seems to be a little bit more kind of keeping his distance this time.
Sure, that's totally fine.
Probably totally fine. Well, let me describe what you see in the northwest corner of the crater. In the northwest edge of the crater, you can see that there is just there's like a huge crack in the icy crater wall. And from that crack, there is a river of black water and streaming clouds of gray smoke flowing out. The river splits as it flows out from underneath the icy outcropping into a crevasse, separating the cracked wall from the floor of the crater by a good 20 feet of this river of black liquid. You can see even in the kind of smoke some kind of glyph that has been etched into the wall, kind of by the opening in the crater wall itself.
Is it the same glyph that we've been seeing?
Certainly similar in style. Does that look okay on the map? Does that make sense? Sorry, I'm having a hard time. Oh, I think there's some stuff not hidden no, it's all good now.
All right, so
everything's fine.
This is the river.
This is ice,
and then there's an entrance over here. Up here, is this what we're seeing?
Oh, okay.
Yep, there's like an icy triangle between the rivers.
How wide is the river?
20 feet.
Okay.
And what can we tell what it is? Like you said it's black stuff. Is it like demon blood?
Watch this. Dungeon Masters, watch this. One could tell what it is.
What would one need to roll in order to determine that?
I think a nature check.
All right, I will make a nature check, but I will also turn my head over my shoulder to Raze, wherever he's standing way back, and be like, Raze, do you know what this substance is here?
Raze kind of flaps over to all of you, having dealt with the demons.
And I got a 14 on my nature check.
I rolled a nature check at 13.
Raze kind of looks at it. It's almost like he didn't notice what was going on this side of the crater until now. I wouldn't drink that. You study it. Requirl, you rolled what'd you roll on your nature check?
14.
You get the sense that this water is toxic and polluted by necrotic energy.
Oh, I would recognize necrotic energy for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, for sure.
I got a 0 on a nature check.
Nice.
Give me a straw.
I stopped Lee from drinking the water.
Yeah. Man, how did you survive so long as a monk in the wilderness?
She's very trusting, is the thing.
You know, you're an air genocity. If you wanted somebody to identify water, you should have brought a water genocity.
Yeah. Q and Thamia keep me out of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are we gonna get over this?
More rope?
I ask Raze, would you be willing to shuttle us over to the other side of this river?
Raze raises an eyebrow and says, I would not.
Now, if we put a fox with us, and then leave the
if you leave a devil and a bag of grass on one side of the uses it, Reed Quarrel, it occurs to you that you've never come into physical contact with rays before, and that there might be some unintended side effects of that. Just saying.
I wouldn't necessarily know that. So
are there any points in this river that are narrower?
Yeah, there's some
up here.
Yeah, it is not uniform. There's also, Dan, wait for it, some points that are wider. How you like that?
Whoa. Is there a way that we could pull some of the crystals and lay it down to have stepping stones in the river? Do you think?
The river is pretty far below you, I would say, because there's I think that
so
would
it's
be
like a cave.
Yeah, in fact, I would say it's a crevasse. So there is a stream here. It's
just a fancy crevice,
and then it and it vase, and there's little waterfalls that go down to. So it's you know what? Check this out. It's like a good 80-foot drop to the the black liquid below.
That is a big drop.
This black liquid right here, before it tumbles into the crevasse, is much more conveniently located.
Okay. How wide is this space right here?
Let's say 15 feet.
But we're still talking. Is there still an 80-foot drop?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. From one side to the other side?
No, down.
Deep.
It's 80 feet down.
Okay. Right.
So we can go over, but we're gonna need a way to affix. If we're gonna use a rope, we need a way to affix the rope to the other side.
Or what?
Might I
How
suggest?
far can people jump?
I'm not jumping 20 feet.
I'm pretty strong, and I can only jump 14 feet.
Okay.
Whatever your strength is.
If I recall, Lee can levitate, or levitate one of us.
But can they levitate themselves?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Well, so I was gonna suggest, but if only one of us levitates, maybe someone levitates over there with a rope and secures it, so that we have the rope secured on both sides. Because I like a rope that's secured on both sides. I don't know. That's just me, maybe.
Very good point. So yeah, I mean, Lee and I have experience with levitation games. And I feel like I could be a very...
That is the worst John Grisham novel I've ever read.
I like the movie, though. So I could be a good base for it, too, if we can't find a place to tie it or secure the rope on the other side. And then zip line, because I guess, is it equal?
We're going to make a zip line before this adventure's over. It's all I'm saying.
Right? Yeah. Yes. Because I mean, it's a little bit of a darker gray, so I'm in my mind, I'm assuming that it's at a lower elevation, so we can zip line.
Yeah, do we have to zip down to the?
It is now zip line.
All right, yes. Zip lineable. Perfect. Let's do it.
This is called providing you with your own petard and seeing if you choose to hoist it.
You don't hoist up a zip line, Tony. Please.
Right?
Well, but in order to set up a zip line, you got to hoist something.
Well, we're at the top right now, so.
Yeah.
Unless somebody's got a better idea, I think that might be our best option, because it seems like going down 80 feet is not really going to go
not
well.
A good plan.
Yeah, unless there's debris long enough to make a bridge across. But
does not seem like the, and especially it's hard. The crystal structure is kind of
ice seems
it's kind of
dangerous. I think there's anything we're gonna construct a bridge over troubled waters, but I think we could probably zip line.
Yeah. And necrotic is the most troubled of waters.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
I believe that was what Simon and Garfunkel said. Yes.
All right. So am I levitating Thamia? Is that what's happening here?
I think that seems like a decent plan.
Yeah.
Give her a push.
All right.
Yep.
Give me a little bit more information. I don't think you technically have a plan yet. You have an idea.
We have an idea. Yes.
Yeah.
Thamia's
so the idea is levitate Thamia. Step one. Step two.
No. She's gonna. We're gonna hold. Yeah, exactly. She's gonna get one end of the rope. We're gonna hold the other end of the rope and spool it out as she levitates.
All right. Lee, do you want to remind us how levitate works? Because I think there's some challenges for movement when you're levitating, right?
Well, I think we can just push her. So,
okay. When does she stop moving?
When she reaches, I can end the spell and she'll float down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, gently. So
So basically, Thamia can just launch herself off of this cliff. You cast levitate, and instead of her falling to her demise in the crevasse, she floats peacefully to the other side.
Yeah.
All right, and she's holding a rope.
And she's holding
one end.
Oh. One
and
end
one
of
you is holding the other end of the rope.
Correct.
Allegedly.
Probably maybe several of us are all cooperating.
Yeah.
Everybody but me, says each player.
I'm helping.
All right. So, Thamia, you are on the other edge of the. Do you want to put your token where you end up?
I don't know. That purple circle kind of scares me a little bit.
I did put a symbol on the map where there is something. There's a.
We're gonna have to go in there anyways, so I would say.
I know. The glyph that you already told us about, though.
Yep, there's a glyph.
Yeah.
So maybe you just want to be like right over the
here
edge so that we can zip line down.
Okay.
Or back a little farther.
Wherever you want to go.
Probably. That's perfect.
All
right. And then I'm gonna secure it into the ground in a way. Or I'll just hold it. I'll just like
wrap it around your waist.
Yeah, like a tug of war.
All right. Yep.
Yeah.
So you've got it wrapped around your waist.
Yep.
And the other end of it is still being held by the four of you there.
I think we're gonna secure it into.
You have to secure it somewhere.
Yeah.
Reyes takes up kind of a location over where he feels like he has a good view of what's going on here. he seems to be perhaps laughing softly to himself.
I look at Reed Quarrel and say, I don't really like your friend.
We are not friends.
We
are
okay.
We have met previously and did not come to blows.
Each other.
Fair enough.
I'm interested to see what happens next.
Me too.
So we should secure this with like another, if we've got another like a piton or something like that we can like hammer into the ice, tie it around it, and then zip down.
There's certainly no convenient tree here in this.
No.
Horrible crater filled with crystal and
someone's
ice.
got an adventurer's kit, right?
Yeah, you've got more metal pins. So you have from one edge of the cliff. We'll say it's a gentle decline of it's like Thamia's maybe 10 feet down from all of you. So the rope goes from metal spike that you have driven into the ground to where Thamia is holding it.
Excellent.
About 40 feet away, 10 feet lower, because it's like 20 feet across the thing, and then Thamia has given herself another 15, 20 feet of, bonus room there.
Landing space.
Yep. All right.
So
what is the next part of this? And I hesitate to use this word. Plan. This word that you adventurers keep using, a plan.
So I think Thamia is going to tighten the rope so that we can just use a belt to zip line down and land, and she'll be there to soften the blow. My question, I turn to my friends and I say, my question is, do we want to leave behind this rope as well and all of us zip down it, or do we want to...
Zipping down is way more fun than zipping it back off the zip line.
Yeah.
Or unhook the rope and have the last person jump.
Getting back up seems challenging without a rope.
Right.
Yeah. That's true. Good point. All right. So whose rope is this? And that we are leaving.
We can use mine. My lovely silken rope.
Well,
it'll be good for zipping.
Easier to zip.
That's true.
Yeah.
Designed for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I paid you extra for the zipline rope.
Once again, I will go last because I'll just sort of stand on the python in the just make sure that it's staying as stable as possible.
All right. So Thamia has gone first. Reed Quarrel has declared that she will go last. Who will be the first zipline contestant?
I'm gonna go, but I'm actually gonna tightrope walk it.
All right.
No.
Lee, give me an acrobatics check with advantage.
24.
All right.
Nice.
You are expertly across.
Cartwheels.
There's a soft golf clap from Reyes.
10 from the devil judge.
All right.
Q
somebody over there.
Q will go over. He's going to use a belt from his spare outfit, just a leather belt.
All right.
Zip down.
It's important to use it from the spare outfit, not from your current outfit.
Let's
Otherwise,
hold my sword up.
Yeah, like all your
pants
stuff
fall
starts
down.
Halfway down.
all of your. What you don't want to do is like be halfway down a zip line and like your bag of holding falls open.
All my change falls out of my pockets.
Yeah,
it's no good.
All right,
your bagpipes.
Yeah, give me an that would be horrible if we lost your bagpipes here.
Oh no,
my bagpipes.
Quick acrobatics check with advantage. Q Oris.
Advantage.
A Bard.
18.
All right, Q Oris, you are safely on the other side of the crevasse.
Hello, friends.
Chomasa, I think you are next. How acrobatic are you as a dragon?
I have +4, so.
Oh, that's solid. With advantage.
That's a good thing because I needed it. 22.
No problem. Expertly. Do you want to tell us how you get over there? Why is there more than one rope now? What's going on, people?
There was an error. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Don't look too closely at the extra rope.
Okay.
I am also using a spare. It just disappeared. I also am using spare belts. And because it's like silken.
There's rope hijinks happening on the map. Every Dungeon Master's favorite part of the adventure.
Why?
Tony doesn't Why are there 3?
Oh,
everything's fine.
I glide smoothly down.
All right, you glide smoothly down, land confidently next to Thamia.
All right, I suppose it's my turn. Not very good at acrobatics.
Neatly ready for a levitate.
Do you want to tie yourself to the rope?
That's right.
Are there any safety precautions that you would like to take, Reed Quarrel, before you do this? You tie yourself to the rope, tie yourself to the Crystal Palace, tie yourself to Ray's.
I think tying myself to my belt is actually the best way to go. Like, take the 2 sides of it around the rope, then tie that to my wrists.
Okay.
So even if I don't know. I feel like I'm strong. I'm very strong, so I should be strong enough to just hold on. But better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Tie myself to the belt, which is then tied shut. And it's a 10 and an 11, so that comes to a 12.
All right, a 12 is good enough. Your landing is kind of sloppy. You kind of end up upside down in a heap, more or less colliding with Thamia and Lee.
I got you. It's okay.
To be fair, your pod has been upside down for like the last hour. Kind of hilarious.
You are you have at this point. You've tied yourself to the zip line that Thamia is holding. So. Yeah,
I untie myself from my belt.
But you've made it. You now stand on the other side of the crevasse at the entrance to the huge crack in the side of the crater. Crevasse, crack. It's great. You know what's going to be inside there?
Crack.
Chamber.
Crack.
Crack will be in there maybe. For now, Ray's just seems to be hanging out on the edge of the of the crevasse on the other side of the river.
Thanks for nothing.
Watching you all. There is a large, intimidating sigil glyph carved into the wall by the entrance to the.
Is the glyph any sort of writing, or is it like a symbol?
Isn't a glyph inherently some kind of writing?
Yeah, but it could. I mean, so for example, I picked up that stone that lets me read Celestial. Mm-hmm. Does it look any different to me now that I have that stone?
You know what? I will tell you, you have advantage when you try and decipher this with Arcana. Anyone else can do that too. They may not have it. They're not going to have advantage.
I will put on the circlet, and then I will attempt this.
Oh.
Smart.
I got a 15 to Arcana.
Let's see how I can do when I got that. Man, still not great. 16 is the best I got.
You know what? It looks like, I'm going to say that this is... it's probably the celestial version of it, but it may be something that some of you are familiar with before. This seems to be a powerful glyph of warding.
Ooh, yeah.
QRs, do you want to explain what a glyph of warding is in your Intelligence 19 voice?
Well, a glyph of warding is a magical construction created in which one stores a spell in a mystical glyph that would then be triggered by some action such as touching the glyph. This could be, in its most basic form, an explosion, for example, but it may also trigger other results depending on what spell they've used to create this particular glyph. But it can perhaps be deactivated with some successful knowledge of Arcana. Yes, I know. Very interesting, I agree.
I wish we had thought of that before we came down here.
It's all right. We're close. We could still attempt it from here.
I am not good at Arcana.
I feel like I want to start climbing back up the rope, but I won't. I will, however, scooch back to the edge of
I rolled a 1, so I am not doing any sort of relation check on there, but it's not a 0 because I'm just at 0.
Yeah, my Arcana check was like a 6 or 7, so I don't know what it is. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on.
Does anyone
Tony,
have good Arcana?
We have an idea of what this will... Can it be deactivated?
Let's see. You can use an Arcana check to detect and disable magical traps like a glyph of warding.
Okay. Can I attempt, or someone else? I don't know.
I mean, Arcana is intelligence-based, so...
Yeah, I got a 6 with my hat on.
Yeah, we are rolling so well.
Yeah, we're rolling terribly.
You could potentially send one person in to trigger it. You could do a lot of things.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
I mean,
hey, Ray's
doing? Send him.
Do we want to do, if someone takes the help action, I think that would give us advantage on attempting to disable it.
Yeah, I can do that.
So if Lee wants to assist me, I will attempt an Arcana to disable it.
Okay.
Does that seem amenable, Dungeon Tony?
Yeah, you can try.
Okay. Do I have any other ways to boost this?
You can do it.
I'm trying to think if I have any other ways to boost this. Not without giving myself inspiration.
Can you give bardic inspiration to yourself? Does that work?
I've only got one left. I feel like holding on to it's probably a good idea.
Honestly, QRS doesn't really care for his own music.
It's that popular stuff.
That's right. Here we go. 24.
Yeah.
All right. QRS, you spend some time studying it while wearing your...
Yes. Very clever. I see what they did here, but no matter.
Circlet of intellect. You strum a few chords carefully on your bagpipe.
Totally how they work.
And the circlet of the glyph of warding is no more. You think that you can safely pass through this area without taking 5d8 necrotic damage.
I have a question. Tuaris, do you think that glyph of warding was placed by a celestial creature or a devil?
That is a fascinating question, and if we examine the etymology of the glyphs written in the symbol, I think we can find the answer. Can we?
Yeah, you can roll something for that.
Yeah,
Sparky.
What do you need?
Just give me an intelligence check.
Intelligence.
You feel fairly confident that it was devilish in nature.
One traces the root of the words used in the warding, and to come from the demonic and devilish wardach, which is clearly not from the angel origin.
Was that in Primordial?
That was it was a primordial pronunciation. You see, the transliteration uses the primordial glyphs in order to interpret the celestial. It's fascinating.
Lee just reaches out and takes the circlet off.
Oh my god, thank you. Oh, that thing's giving me a headache.
So I know Primordial. Could I read the glyph?
I also know Primordial.
I don't know. I was BSing my way through that.
I don't know enough.
There is actually a whole thing with languages and how some of them use the scripts from other languages, but I don't remember enough of what that is.
Okay.
So Primordial is the language of, guess what? Primordials. More about, but you can Google it. I think the answer is I don't think there's any connection between Primordial and Celestial, other than they are things you don't see often day to day.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Shall we continue on?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. You are going to head into the crevasse here at the site of a celestial palace that has hurtled down from the heavens, cracked open, unleashing the devils locked inside of it, and you are going to go into this horrible crevasse that is bleeding black water polluted with necrotic energy. Yep, this is what we are doing. All right. It takes you less than an hour to climb down through the cracked and horrible tunnels. You haven't seen rays in a little while, and eventually you arrive at what can only be described as a summoning chamber. Arcing columns of shimmering ice along the walls give this large chamber an almost organic feel, like ribs supporting the petrified chest cavity of some huge beast. A red glow shines off razor-sharp stalactites hanging from the ceiling, revealing 6 angelic creatures that have been impaled on ice spikes or nailed to the wall with shards of their own shattered palace. Their quicksilver blood flows down into the intricate patterns of a summoning circle, scribed into the ice of the floor. The liquid flaring blood red as it meets the circle's fiendish magic. A horrible purple-skinned figure with a beard of thick black tentacles kneels before the circle. It's not aware of you yet, but the terrible chanting that issues from its lips haunt your dreams. Skulking around the corners of this chamber are several other twisted fiends that do seem to be moving in your general direction.
Oh boy.
How's that? So you can see there's 6 angels, or the bluish things, that have basically set up around the circle. There's a horrible purple demon in the middle. There's 3 kind of slightly less intimidating demons skulking around the edges in yellow and red. As you look at this, don't do that. Everything's
Earthquake! Great.
No, it's going to get better. As you look at this horrible sight before you, you've probably seen nothing quite like this. It's almost like reality itself, that you have this like feeling of pressure, and you have that like you have to like blink it out of your mind, like the image of a giant red 6-fingered hand just kind of pushing against like the edge of reality, trying to make its way into this plane. And then you like snap your head again and it's gone. Several lesser demons are skulking their way toward you.
Perhaps you said it was a 6-fingered hand?
Yeah, I did.
Like the statue.
Been looking. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, Dan.
We rolling initiative? Is that what's happening?
They are. It's up to you.
Can I just go?
Let's.
Can we go? Yeah.
I got a plan.
Plan is a strong word that you people keep using.
It worked.
I feel like our plan to do the zipline thing worked exactly as we planned.
Yeah.
This is a secret. Is the Dungeon Master just ridicules your plans?
Regardless of what it is.
Regardless of what it is.
Dan has figured out how. I mean, there's like I've got 4 tricks and I use them all over and over again.
You're like one PHP function.
Ouch. Let's see.
Shuffle those cards.
Like,
they only work if I use them randomly.
I have a question about the patterns in the ice that all the blood is in.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that there is something about the shape of that pattern that is very important to this, and if we melted part of the ice around there, that it might screw with what they're trying to do?
I think there's probably a variety of things you could do when not in the heat of combat to, unsanctify and undo the bad things that are happening.
Yeah, I was just thinking if just pure heat from fire or something would fire be enough.
I got an idea. I think we'll at least delay this.
Is everybody in the initiative order?
So.
Yes. All right, let me just run through here. I see Kiwaris at 22, Reed Coral at 20, Chomasa at 19. Wow, you all rolled really well. Lee at 18. Crack, the devil who seeks to open forth a passageway just to, for his boss. Just he's got him for a promotion. 16. Thamia, also at 16. Thamia, what's your dex modifier?
Dex modifier is +1.
Crack goes before you. And at the very end is the demons that seem to be serving, or sorry, they're devils. Can't use those words interchangeably. That seem to be serving Crack and protecting him while he is carrying out this strange ritual. These are specifically, I don't know how you pronounce it, lemures?
They're French.
Lemure.
Lemure.
They are. I think they're not very high up in the devil hierarchy. They kind of look like a. Here, I should see. They look like somebody was doing claymation and also a lot of acid.
It's the only way to do claymation.
Sounds like Saturday night. Yeah.
Yeah. Sunday night.
Hold on. I took a screenshot of
day. Afternoon.
Early evening on Sunday.
I mean, why constrain it by time?
I know, it's true.
All right.
Oh. Yep.
That
is a great descriptor.
Do they all try out for the part of Clayface on Batman the Animated Series? Is that what happened?
And none of them made it.
Very sad.
Yeah. All right. So there are 3 devils kind of blocking your path here. Yeah. All right. Kiwaris, you are first.
Kiwaris utters a few words of a spell, and that's going to cover, let's see here, I think about this distance or so. And in that 20-foot radius sphere, centered on essentially the middle of the summoning circle, more or less, silence falls.
You did this before.
I know, and it didn't work.
It worked.
Well, last time it worked poorly the first time because then that dude exploded. But
right,
this time anything inside the sphere.
It ended up being an alternative secondary bonus because it's still covered where he was hiding. So...
Exactly. So I'm going to drop a sphere of silence right on top of where that demon is, which essentially covers, I think, because it's 20 foot in radius, pretty much that entire sigil. So, yeah, that was my action.
All right.
Good action.
Yeah, I'm hoping that helps maybe slow it down a little bit. And then I think that's going to be it for me this time. But we'll start with that.
All right. You cast silence on the ritual. The chamber is suddenly quiet as Crack is no longer, his mouth continues to move like he's trying to chant, but there is no chanting echoing throughout the summoning chamber. His eyes flip open and lock on Kiwaris far across the chamber, and he looks like he is displeased at you, Kiwaris. Reed Coral, you're next.
All right, so around the circle there are a whole bunch of dead/dying angelic creatures impaled. Now, I spent a lot of time outside the Crashed Palace sending a whole bunch of celestial creatures onto the celestial plane, so I've got some practice with that.
Yep.
What do I think that is a possibility here, and what would I need to do to make that happen? Or is this special because they're already part of a ritual?
They are currently part of a ritual in which it seems like, I think you could surmise that their life source is being used as fuel as part of some kind of summoning circle. So though it's possible that you could try and take them out of that ritual, it's also possible that you could end up helping the ritual. You could try. It would certainly be very challenging to do that in combat, and the results might be unexpected, but you can absolutely try.
How tall are these spires that they're on?
Not super tall.
Stalagmites.
Yeah, not super tall.
Wait, stalagmites? Stalactites? Which are
these
mites are from the ground.
Yeah.
Stalactites.
I just want to know, like they could be impaled.
Stick out of the ground, but they don't. Sorry.
So they're impaled on the ground, or they are impaled on the ceiling.
Ground. Okay. Some of them are on the ground. Some of them are just nailed to the side of the wall with a bunch of shards of crystal.
Gotcha. All right.
It's probably you could not physically get to any of them without getting past the 3 lesser devils.
Right. Well, I mean, I could get to here.
Yeah.
But then they could screw with me while I was trying to, and I don't have a great armor class.
And how?
Mm-hmm. So instead, I think I'm reaching into my knowledge of what I know about devils, and wondering if I know anything about necrotic damage in terms of are they immune or resistant to necrotic damage.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, is there a role for that, or is that something I would know since I've
I think you would just know that the only thing that tends to be resistant to necrotic damage is the undead, and devils are not the undead.
Okay. All right. Then I think I am just going to point at Crack.
Okay.
And my hand coming out of my cloak with my holy symbol, and point down to him and say, "Today is your day.
It's my day."
And roll a 1.
Oh no!
Oh.
So I'm gonna say that the spectral hand doesn't even appear.
Oh no!
But I look really intimidating doing it. It just literally
didn't do anything.
All right, Chomasa, what will you do?
I am going to use a bonus action and mark. You put the hunter's mark on Crack. Let's say, put it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, let's put it on the devil sitting right in front of me.
Okay.
Because I can move it. So that until the spell ends, I can deal an extra d6 of damage to the target whenever I hit it with a weapon attack. And then I am going to take a step forward, which could be a bad decision.
It is a decision.
But I have a magic sword for now. And
you do.
I'm going to roll a 11.
11 hits this lesser demon, this Lemure.
And that's 7 points of damage.
You cleave off one side of its horrible clay ooze-like body. It looks peeved.
And that is all.
All right. Lee.
Okay. I am just trying to figure out. Here we go. One sec. Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
Let's go.
So, I'm going to step forward just a little bit. Like, I don't want to get too terribly close. I'm going to reach into my pocket. I'm going to pull out a wand of magic missiles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you are.
I am going to aim it at.
You guys are just. You feel like the Rose Thorn gets like an asterisk rating for how much all of his equipment was used today.
Yep.
Good job, Rose Thorn. And it has 7 charges. I'm going to use all 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Smoke him if you got him.
Wow. All right.
So I'm not sure. Okay. The wand has 7 charges. While holding it, you can use the action to expend 1 or more of its charges to cast magic missile. For 1 charge, you cast the first level version of the spell, you can increase the spell slot level by 1 for each additional charge you expend. So if I were doing, would that be a 7th level?
Yep.
Okay. So then I need to come over here to Magic Missile.
So you would get, it would normally be 3, but you're casting it like an extra 6 levels, so it's 9 magic darts.
Okay. And they're 1d4 each, right?
Plus 1.
1d4 plus 1 each.
Yeah.
Okay. So
9d4.
94, that is a lot.
94?
5, 6, 7, 8, 94 plus 9, correct?
Yep.
That made an amazing sound in D&D Beyond. Okay, so that is 38 points of damage total.
Wow.
Wow. Yes.
And then I just I've got to roll a d20 to see if it gets.
Yeah, it may crumble.
Don't get a 1. Don't get a 1. Don't get a 1. Got an 18.
All
so
right.
I just stow it back in my pocket.
Yeah, it's no more good today. Crack is pissed. Wow. Yeah, that's not good for Crack. Wow.
Oh,
and you
darn.
literally you did not care what are his defenses. You did not ask me anything about it.
No.
You did not get a roll to
Turnabout's
save.
fair play,
He
Tony.
just took
Turnabout's
38 damage.
fair frickin' play.
All right. We can roll with this.
I'm sorry.
All right.
No, do not apologize.
So
That was amazing.
Lee, are you done?
I'm done. Yeah.
All
You
right.
make Tony sad. That means we win.
Right.
Let's not correlate those two quite.
Crack picks up next to him. He's got this huge glaive, and the blade seems to kind of crackle with icy shadows. And Crack is just going to launch himself past Thamia and Chroma, so he just kind of leaps. He lands, I guess, right next to. He lands kind of between Thamia and Lee, and but his target.
Opportunity attacks?
I don't think so. I think the cavern's big enough.
You have to leave their reach.
Yeah.
In order to get an opportunity attack.
Yeah.
Oh right. Well, he left Chomasa's reach, so
I think he did not enter Chomasa's reach. So Crack, as his mouth is just open, and there's basically, as soon as he passes through the edge of the silence spell, we realize that he was roaring with a scream. As he lands on the ground with a stomp between Thamia and Lee, and he is going to try and murder Lee. Lee, who has emptied a wand of magic missiles into him. Lee, who has interrupted his important summoning ritual, and he gives a nod to QRS. He's coming for you next. All right. So, Lee, this is going to be interesting. He is going to use a glaive attack. He is using his his soul hewer glaive. Do you have a soul?
I theoretically, I don't know.
For
That's
now.
a really philosophical question.
For now. All right. Glaive attack. That could have been better. 16 to hit. Nope, sorry. 15 to hit.
Nope.
All right. He slices through the air near you. You dodge out of the way. As you are dodging, Crack has this thick, horrible kind of writhing blade of he has a blade. He also has a thick writhing beard of tentacles, and the beard seems to kind of lash out at you, Lee, with these barbed tentacles.
Okay.
That is also 15 to hit, so I suspect still misses.
Still misses, yeah.
All right. The kind of snake-like tentacles kind of like slice in the direction of your face, but are unsuccessful. Crack looks furious that he is not hit. Thamia, you are next.
I'm really appreciative that he came so close to me.
Really saved you a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I didn't have to move. I just have to sit here. Low lucky dice. Come on. Let's hit him with my hammer. I rolled an 18 plus 5, so 23. No, yeah, 23 to hit. Guessing that hits.
Does hit.
And I need to make sure I pick up the correct dice. I really need to get some more dice so that I can color code them.
Yeah.
So I don't have to count.
More dice is always the right answer.
Sides. It's true. All right. 2 plus 3 is 5.
5 damage?
Yes. And then
I will also tell you, unfortunately, you do 5 damage to Krek. You get the sense, I believe your weapons are not magical.
Well, she did put blood on there with her own hands.
Yes.
You get the sense that your weapons are not as effective as they might be against other creatures, against this devil.
Wait, is that... Hold on. Unarmed strikes are considered magical. So if I was to sheath my secondary axe...
or just drop it.
Or just drop it. Yeah.
You're just gonna try and punch Krek instead of
Well, so I would like to empower my tattoo.
This is the time.
Yes. Which oh wait, no, I don't have to empower it necessarily to make this happen. While the tattoo is on my skin, your unarmed strikes are considered magical for the purpose of overcoming immunity and resistance to non-magical attacks.
Yeah. So your hand axe is not, but your hand is.
But my hand is.
It's all about hands.
Right. It's hands all the way down. I think that's the title for this episode. Except why can't I switch over to see what I need to roll? Or, I mean, clearly. Okay. So +6. Or, well, okay, I'm going to roll first and then do math later. Okay, so I rolled an 11.
No.
+6 is 17. But I wish there was a way. It's fine.
17 hits.
Yes. Okay. 17. And then damage. It just says 5 damage. I don't roll anything.
Really? For a punch, it's just 5 when you get hit by a
Goliath.
Goliath.
For an armed strike, it says just 5.
All right. Krek is not looking good. He is staggering on his feet already. You have delivered a devastating attack here. And, this is probably, well, I guess you've met Raze, but only the second devil you've ever met. And clearly Krek is more martial and menacing than Raze. But, emptying a wand of magic missiles and punching him with your magic fist is not going well for him.
Well, and since I'm guessing that I could hear the anguish in his hit, I'd like to do an action surge and go ahead and do an additional action with my magic fist.
Nice.
And do some more damage because I can.
All right.
I rolled an 11 plus 6 is 17.
17.
Hits.
Okay.
You're
so
just
5.
punching him again?
Yeah, I'm just punching him again.
It is doing more damage than your sword. It's just punching the demon in the face. Sorry.
Pew,
punching
pew.
the devil in his face.
Devil, yes.
Yep. Thamia, you all set?
Yes, that's it.
All right. The lesser devils crowd around Chomasa, sliding forward on their horrible clay pseudopods. They are all going to try and hit you. I rolled horribly.
Yay!
Chomasa, let me just check. This is academic, but how do you feel about 5 versus your armor class? How do you feel about 7 versus your armor class? How do you feel about my highest number? 14.
14 hits.
You will take 4 bludgeoning damage as one of their clay-like fists just pummels you in the ribs. Q-Waris, a bard, you are next. The devil is on the ropes, but his minions are crowding around your friend Chomasa, the Dragonborn Ranger.
I'll see if I can give her a little space. QRS deals his deck of cards.
Oh no!
Throws
big money,
a card over, like, basically right next to sort of Thamia and these creatures, and hopefully we end up with. It is a 7 of clubs. What does that mean, you ask? Well, let me tell you. A 7 of clubs. Oh, this one's not on the list. I guess I realized it's not. Every card is represented, so let's just throw that one out. Let's try that again. 3 of diamonds. Also not a thing. I did this badly. Sorry, I didn't realize they didn't use every card. I'm just gonna go till I get to one. That's actually a thing. Yay! 8 of diamonds. A knoll appears in this spot.
How annulling.
Tony.
I don't know what that means.
Erica.
It growls and launches, basically threatens, menaces at them as a knoll.
We got a puppy.
But it's still an illusion.
It is, but they don't know that.
All right. They don't know that. Yeah.
They'll have to make a check or at least attempt to find out otherwise.
All right.
Anybody, Chamasu, you took some damage?
Yeah, but only 4 points, so.
Did anybody else take any damage?
I'm good.
Not yet, knock on wood.
Yeah, let's.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're good.
I'll hold.
Save it for when Krek hits.
Then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Reed Coral.
All right. Trying this again. Still staying in the same spot that I have been, basically outside the cavern this whole time, looking in at Krek, whom I can still see from where I am. I pull out my magic symbol, holding the scales of justice, and say,
holding hands.
Kelemvor be praised, Kelemvor be with me, and then I point at Krek and say, today is your day. And crit.
Nice!
Oh no!
Yeah!
It is his day.
Yeah, it is.
Or not.
So, let's see, chill touch. I didn't roll great on the damage. It's only 6 necrotic damage.
So the skeletal hand appears, taps Krek
it's a
on
regular hand. It's a spectral, like ghostly hand.
Sorry, spectral hand. A lot of hand management in this game. The spectral hand appears, taps Krek on the shoulder. He turns from his target of enmity Lee to see Reed Coral glaring down at him from the entrance to his summoning chamber, and the spectral hand kind of sweeps through him, and there is just a look of confusion on Krek's face as he collapses to the floor, stone dead. The 3 lemures who served him take this as an opportunity to just kind of turn into puddles and ooze away into the cracks and the crevasse. Raze is suddenly standing next to you, Reed Coral, and says, very impressive. I'll be going now.
Yes, it was.
You weren't even aware he was there.
I would like to make a deception check to make it look like I knew he was there all along. That was only a 7, but I'm trying really hard to look tough.
Mm-hmm. Ray says, my work here is done. And there's a flame.
What did you do?
There's a flaming circle.
Not doing work is done.
Yeah.
There's a flaming circle as he steps back into through a portal into one of the hells. Reed Coral, you get kind of just out of the kind of corner of your eye, just a quick glimpse of a land made of fire and lava and suffering, and probably try not to look too closely at it.
It's Phoenix.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, Phoenix, Arizona. Cannon. And he is gone. You are now alone in a summoning circle chamber. There are 6 dying angels that you help pass on to the next realm. You have, through luck or unluckiness,
amazingness,
defeated a devil, found yourself in a conflict between heaven and hell, and managed to at least keep things on the smooth and narrow for now. And good news. White Sparrow is not going to be on the front porch of hell, so that's something. You have defeated Krek. His ritual is stopped. The angels are laid to rest so they can return to whatever happens next to angels that die. That's kind of a above your pay grade kind of situation. And though there is not any gold to be had here, you do feel good about the work that you've done. And hey, Krek left behind his +1 glaive called Soul Hewer. Perhaps one of you wants to use that.
Ooh,
if not, you could sell it to a spooky pawn shop.
Interested.
You've done a good work here today, people, whether you set out to do it or not. You have meddled in the affairs of angels and demons. And come out all alive, which is honestly a miracle.
Barely even injured, in fact.
So all that's left to do is thank my players for playing this mini adventure that was a little on the mini side. First off, Erica Ensign, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I am excited about my new glaive.
Annette Wierstra, thanks for being here.
Thank you. I'm just really excited that I got to, use all my fire resistance.
Yeah, that helped.
Always bring a dragon to a demon fight, apparently.
Yeah.
Aline Sims, always a pleasure. We didn't get to hear about your new slippers yet.
I know. I have these cool slippers. I can walk up walls. I can walk on the ceiling.
Oh.
No opportunity to use them.
I did think about it. Celestial Adventures, not big on ceilings.
Yeah.
Kathy Campbell, thanks for being here.
Thanks for letting Thamia, I guess, survive.
Yeah.
To go further on, and maybe sometime I'll actually get to use my tattoos as opposed to just allowing the magical hands to kick butt.
Yep. And last but not least, Dan Morin, thanks for being here.
Q-Eris is determines that this perhaps is a good time for him to retire, to travel the country, telling the glories of his friends and the town of White Sparrow to anyone who will listen to his wonderful songs.
What tales?
What tales to be told?
Listeners, thanks for listening. Goodbye, live stream. Goodbye, bootleg. We'll be back with more Dungeons and Dragons sooner rather than later. Bye.
Bye.